Greetings, webheads, and welcome to episode 43 of Witty Banter, yet another Marvel Crisis Protocol podcast. I'm Patrick.
I'm Alex.
I'm David.
This is JP.
We are here to help you get better at and have more fun with your Crisis Protocol. We are super stoked because we can see the finish line. We are at our last episode of our affiliation deep dive and tier list. We've got just 4 more to go, so we can bring this plane home and get everything finished. We for those of you who have come along with us the whole time, we really appreciate it. We hope it's been helpful. We hope that you have enjoyed us. But before we do that, Alex, let's tell the webheads about the event that we've got coming up here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we've got the second Brawlhalla, Brawlhalla 2025, at our Gretna Legion for the VFW. $20 entry fee. All the entry fees go to the Legion itself as donations. Standard Challenger event. Any models released up to that day will be legal. It is an LVO qualifier, and it is November 15th, so not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Same day as Mini Stravaganza. So if we can get a schedule from AMG of what it's going to be, we'll plan accordingly to possibly watch it at some point during the actual event. If we're lucky enough, it lands around lunchtime, but we'll figure it out. You can buy booze there. They do offer booze. And if you are a Patreon and can prove it, Patrick will buy you a beer.
Patrick has been practicing his river dance for the bar top too. Just throwing it out there, guys. If you want to see this man.
Like I need practice. I'm just a natural. Come on now.
It runs in your blood.
It does. It does, laddie.
You gonna break out a kilt?
Wrong.
I got the legs. I got the legs for it. Not gonna lie. I feel like we've harmed our chances of getting more people to come. But if we haven't horrified you, then we would love to see you at Brawlhalla on the 15th. The link for the Longshanks, which will be not only how to sign up, but also where to find and all the other information will be in the show notes, and we'll have it in the socials as well. So please come and join us.
We'll also have a poll whether you want Patrick to shave his legs or not with the kilt. So let us know. We will definitely go with the higher polling number, just to appease the most fans.
I don't recall being consulted on this question. All right, so our first affiliation that we have up to finish things up is Web Warriors. So we'll do the same format we did with the other ones. We'll talk about the leaders, we'll talk about the roster, we'll talk about the tactics cards, and then we'll give thoughts in terms of where they fit on the tier list. So let's start out with the leaderships for Web Warriors. There's 2 on the card leaderships, and then we have a tactics cards leadership that's not a leadership, but sort of is a leadership, but isn't. So, David, you want to talk some about Web's leaderships?
Yeah. So I guess we start with Miles, because Miles is the OG leader. His leadership's really good. It's reroll a dice on defense, and if you're contesting or controlling an objective, you can modify skulls. It's a really good leadership. It synergizes well with all of the webs. It's just good. And Miles is a good character, right? He has his stupid builder can throw size 3, which is ridiculous. He's got stealth, he's got spider sense, and he's got his extract drop, and he's got his range replace that adds dice. So like, what can you not like about this guy? He's good. Like, he's so good that he gets splashed a lot of places. as a leader. Like, so he's really good.
And he's a 3 threat.
And he's a 3 threat. Sometimes he can explode though. Like, I mean, he's only got 5 health, so it is what it is. But he's a very good 3 threat. And his leadership is good. ASM's leadership. So I really like ASM as a character. I think he's a pretty good character. He can be very annoying. He's extremely mobile. Sometimes he can like just come in and go, I'm gonna throw 7 dice at you, and then I'm gonna throw an 8 dice spender, and then I'm gonna throw this like terrain piece at you, and I'm gonna move away, and I'm gonna do all that in one activation, and you're like, oh, okay, this guy's kinda ridiculous. He can be stupid tanky into the right stuff. I mean, obviously, as somebody like AV or somebody else who can ignore dice modifications just like melts him. But he's still really good. His leadership, I wasn't originally sold on his leadership because they didn't have any webs that could apply slow. But for those who don't know, the leadership is you can spend a power and choose an enemy character within 2. You can give them the slow condition. And if they already have the slow condition, you can place them 1 and then remove the slow condition. So having the ability to apply slow by another means and then being able to place somebody is really good for the leadership, but like none of the webs gave out slow, so it's like how am I using this basically? But then they came out with all these new webs, and the new webs are pretty freaking fantastic. And a bunch of them apply slow, and Silk has a ton of synergy with slow. Like, man, she can just like, you can be like, okay, I'm gonna beam you, I'm gonna slow you, and then I'm gonna place you like away from me, and then I can trick my traps off of doing that, and I also trigger gaining a power when I place you because she gains a power when somebody who's slowed gets moved. So like she just has a ton of synergy, and her traps are cheap and like quite effective, and she can be really annoying at like if like somebody comes into her and they're slowed, she gains a power and traps away. It's like, what do you do? I really, really like the synergy between them and like Miles. Like I had a game where I completely bullied Shang-Chi with like Ultimate Spider-Man by basically he would like punch me and try to push me, and then I would advance back towards him, kick him, and then like pull him towards me and slow him. And then when I'd activate, I'd just place him off the point. So like it was really good. Yeah, I like it with them. I like the fact that Ham slows, Noir slows, Silk slows, like the ability to, when we get to the tactics cards, the ability to web up a specific side of the table and then go, oh, I need you over here to be slowed, so I'm going to slow you and then go into you. So I get the webbed up benefit, and I can have other people over here slowed instead of having to like waste a web up to slow one character when I could just, web up over here and slow the character that's like right in front of me. Which is really good. It was really effective. I like that a lot. I used it in my game with Alex on Saturday. What did I do? I webbed up like Lizard and Craven, and then I went over to Doc Ock, and then I slowed Doc Ock so that ASM could just go into Doc Ock, which was good.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. I really like the leadership. I think you can really, really like abuse it on a D because it's so easy to like pivot and just move people off points by like slowing them and then just placing them off the point. Like, I mean, it's it's stupid in the characters like Hulk. Like Hulk will activate on a D and he'll like do his smash thing, and then he'll be standing somewhere. You could just go, okay, well I slow you and then I place you off the point. Now you're not scoring it. Like it's really good. And the last leadership, or like quote unquote leadership, is what is it called? It's like Into the something Spider-Verse, something like that.
Web of the
I don't know.
Spider-Verse.
Web of the
Web of the
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
It will forever be known
So
as the glitch.
it's
That is
called
what
Web
I
of
will
the
call it.
Spider-Verse. Web of the Spider-Verse, and then they get the superpower into the Spider-Verse.
Basically, what it does is whenever they roll a skull on attack, defense, or dodge, they get to place one. And there's no restrictions on like how many times you can do that in an activation. And like
The roll's
it,
just got to have a
it,
skull.
it just has to have a skull in it. So I know when we did the webs box, we talked about this leadership and how it's pretty random. But man, playing it is a whole different thing.
It
And
really is.
that leadership is really good. Like I had an activation with it was Noir, I think, on like Mcran. And so I had him flip an Mcran, right? And then he punched Ronan, did no damage to him, but he rolled the skull and got the glitch. And so I placed him one, and then I punched Ronan again for 7 dice, and I dazed him, and I got the elusive trigger, and I walked onto the other point, and I flipped it, and I threw a truck or something, or a car or something at, I don't even know who it was. But basically, without the glitch, I would have never been able to get close enough to use his elusive to get onto the other point to flip it. And like it's really good. I used it to like get 2099 like completely out of danger because I used his reroll that gives him the place, and I think he had a skull in the roll, but I decided to just keep it. And I think he only took like 1 damage or something after the reroll, and then I ended up placing him 2 and then placing him 1 away, and he was like so far away from everybody, but like he couldn't, like Echo couldn't get back into him, and so it allowed him to like survive longer, and he's got like a bunch of healing on his card, so it's just like, okay, I activate, I come back, I heal 3 damage. Like it's really good. It is pretty random, but it comes up enough that if you understand positioning and like where you want your models to be and can adapt to having, because a range one place is pretty good. I will say it is only limited to web warriors, so you're kind of incentivized to take the web warriors to get the benefit of it, which is fine. There's a bunch of new good web warriors, so I mean, I think it's a good leadership. It's a lot better than I gave it credit for, and I really like it because it lets you sort of cater your team to the scenario and your opponent rather than having to be tied to a specific leader, which I think is pretty cool. And it lets you take like all kinds of crazy teams. Like I took a team that was like Silk 2099, Ultimate Spider-Man, Spectacular, and Noir. And it was like it just felt really good. Like the ability to just place a bunch of times and get into annoying places or get in and out of cover or get in and out of range. It's really good. I like it a lot. I think it gives Webs an opportunity to play some of their fightier characters like 2099 and Ultimate Spider-Man and like be able to like kind of brawl a little bit with your opponent because you're kind of tanky and you can kind of hit too. I mean, you're not gonna go blow for blow with like Midnight Suns, but like you can pick on some teams who don't really want to fight you. Um, I like it. It's good. I think all their leaderships are good. I don't know if anybody else has anything to add about their leaderships.
Well, just to kind of clarify, it is technically it acts just like a leadership, it looks just like a leadership, it walks just like a leadership, but it is technically just a reactive card that you
Yeah.
play but then your roster does not have an active leadership, but all the Web
Yeah.
Warriors characters get the superpower.
Yes, which is
So,
really good because then that means they can't pick on your leader to get rid of your
right,
leadership.
right. JP, what do you think about the Web Warriors leaderships?
So, if I'm being honest here, guys, the gush bucket for webs is going to be really full with a bunch of gush juice from David and Alex, and I don't know if I can contribute like extra liquid without making this thing overflow. I think I'm just going to play a fly on the wall for the most part and like try to get through this pod in like 3 hours, hopefully.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. We got apocalypse is coming up. I'm not convinced that's gonna happen.
I'm gonna leave the gush alone. I'm just gonna pass to Alex.
All right, Alex, how about you? What are your thoughts on Webb's leaderships?
I wasn't gonna add too much more than what David already said. Miles is Miles. His leadership is always good. He's always a good character. Uh, you're like when you're putting together a Webs roster, you don't leave home without him. Uh, ASM finally has a leadership because God knows he didn't have one before now. Nobody ever played it. I think I've heard David played it twice before now. I to be perfectly honest, because I never played it because I saw no reason to play the leadership without over Miles because no Web Warriors gave slow. It was a waste of time. But with the new
I
ones, they do it. So that's all that matters there.
I did play the leadership
I
quite a
know you
few
did at
times.
least once, but I
I
just
know,
can't
and
remember of
I
any other
played.
time.
So when we had that team tournament down in Kansas City, the one that we
Yeah, you
won,
used it against Quentin.
I used it against Quentin, and it was really good. Like,
Well, yeah, because it was a web mirror.
yeah,
So
it was a
like,
Webb's mirror. So he went with Miles, and I went with ASM, and I basically was like slowing his team and pivoting around him, which it was very difficult for him to chase me with his webs. And I could just like, I think I ended up winning because ASM had uh ASM, I think he dazed somebody who didn't have much health and took their extract, and then he slowed um Spider Woman, and then he spendered. I don't remember who he spendered. He spendered somebody, and then he walked onto the other side of the D because we were playing spider portals, and he flipped the portal on that side, and Spider Woman couldn't chase him because she was slowed, and so she couldn't get him to drop his extract or flip the point. And yeah, it was really effective. And he had also, back when Mark for Death was a thing, he marked for death ASM, but Mark for Death didn't affect your movement. It just affects your speed. So when he advanced his medium off of his spender, he still got to do the full medium because it changed his speed, not his ability to move. And so it was really good. It ended up winning me a game. So
yeah. So I mean, like,
it's
point
it was
is,
a
it rarely got
really
used to
hard
begin with.
leadership to play before, because not having characters with slow or with the ability to slow is just like, it doesn't it's very inefficient to have to like place slow on somebody and then next activation you get to place them, right? It gets weird.
Right.
Okay,
And
um
I lied.
then,
I do have a little bit to add. Not that I want to add to the gush bucket, but I do feel like I have a couple points that are probably useful. So, like historically, it's kind of been just a Miles team basically because the leadership's so good
mm,
and allows you to splash. Allows you to splash. Well, I guess Zemo's like super good, right? A lot of the webs just play Zemo because he's
yeah, he's
fast and like he
insane.
gives you a piece that just is able to kill things when you need to kill things. With like webs don't really do that very well outside of the webbed upturn. Um, so he's kind of just traditionally been the leader. Plus he's like 3 threat as opposed to 5 threat on ASM. ASM definitely got a lot of new synergy with the box, as David was talking about. Like before when you were playing ASM, you're like, this is cool, but I don't have a lot of ways to apply slow outside of the leadership. So if I want to use the displacement portion of the leadership, it's much more complicated. But now you can use either side of it pretty easily if you take the right team. And then finally, the Spider-Verse card, like you guys were saying, or like David was saying, like it incentivizes taking heavy affiliated teams. So that's kind of in direct opposition to kind of like the Miles type of team where you will take like your best core stuff and then try to splash for like best in slot or, well, usually best in slot, right? So like your Zemos, your Wongs, your Beta Ray Bills, your Shang-Chi's, like
Yep. Hulk.
Hulk. Like I feel like it's kind of a cool, the leaderships kind of occupy a cool space for web builds. Like there's different ways to build webs now. And like I'm not a webs player, so I haven't actually put anything on the table, but I do see some viability in all the different builds. I'll be interested to see how it shakes out though.
Okay, so let's move on and talk about the actual roster of characters. Web Warriors have Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Agent Venom, Black Cat, Daredevil, Ghost Spider, Gwenom, Moon Knight, Scarlet Spider, Silk, Silver Sable, Spectacular Spider-Man, Spider-Ham, Peter Parker Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Woman, Ultimate Spider-Man, and Venom. JP, what are your thoughts on the Web Warriors roster of characters?
I mean, as I just said, I haven't put anything on the table. I think the new 4s are pretty good. I don't know exactly how good they are. Like the new Miles is cool, but you're not going to be able to play old Miles. That may or may not be a concern depending on if you are trying to build around his leadership. And even if you're not, like he's still a good 3. So like Webs, their shtick was like, we have the most people who can just steal your shit. So none of the new, well, aside from Silk's tactics card, none of the new box actually does that thing. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to shake out as far as Miles. But I like historically the 3s have just been just a super solid core with Miles and then the new Spectacular, well, quote unquote new. Black Cat, obviously, raid boss, unless I'm playing her. And then she goes down to fucking Lockjaw, double attack for reasons. Let's see. I think some of the, like they have the mid steel with ASM, which is good. Some of the new characters are interesting. Like the 4 threats are interesting, but they're still 4 threats. I feel like the game is still, I don't want to say centered on 3 threats, but 3 threats are definitely more of a focus, especially for scenario teams. And I don't know if, I feel like Webs are still probably trying to play scenario. For a while there, they were like taking double 2s and trying to go as wide as possible. Like at 19, I can go 7 wide. I don't know if that's probably not the game plan anymore, but I still think Webs are probably trying to just score out a game. Maybe through a little bit more of attrition now, but I think it's probably about the same game plan. So I think that all those old 3 threats that were considered super good are still super good. But we'll have to see what the builds are like. I could see them being good with like the old school Miles builds or the Spider-Verse build. I don't know. Like if I had to take a guess, it's probably, I don't know. I would think that like Amazing Spider-Man has probably at least played leadership still. So I think those slow builds are probably going to be more rare. But none of those really have any kind of synergy with slow. Yeah. I think Spider-Ham's are really good too. He's going to be a really, really, really good point sitter. Just with his DR, his spider sense, and then his size, he's going to be able to get cover from practically anything, or just obscure him completely. So he's a really good addition to any. I think he's a good addition to any of those, any of the leaderships. He fits in anything. He's probably, for me, he's probably the standout of the box just because of that fact. He's just going to be like, if you see a Webb's roster, it's going to have Ham in it. Yeah, I'll end there.
Okay. Alex, anything to add with regards to the roster?
There's a lot of spiders in this roster.
There are a lot of spiders in this roster.
But I think the roster is like super solid at this point. Honestly, because of the I mean, obviously because of the addition of the new characters, but because of the Into the Spider-Verse or Web of the Spider-Verse, because it gives those like
God damn it, it's a
characters.
glitch.
Yes, it's the glitch, but I have to say what it's actually called, David. It gives some of those characters that didn't necessarily get some play because they didn't synergize with Miles super well. And obviously they didn't synergize with ASM because his leadership didn't exist until now. Characters like Gwenum or Daredevil or Venom, even Scarlet Spider. Like we haven't seen much of him, but I think in the Web of the Spider-Verse will definitely get them to show up a lot more. Like I plan on playing a couple of games with a roster, including those characters, so that way I can see how the glitch worked for them.
David, any additional thoughts on the roster?
So I think, I mean, Webbs probably have a collection of the best threes in the game. Like Gwen's good, Miles is good, like Cat's really good. Like just a good, solid set of characters. I would want to shout out Noir. That guy is way better than I thought he was gonna be. He I believe he's the toughest 3 threat in the game. Like, and I know Lizard is really tough, but man, DR to 0 plus 2 rerolls on defense is pretty fucking stupid.
So I have a minor complaint about Noir for being tough. My complaint with him being tough is like, in my eyes, he offers Webbs kind of a piece that you can commit to like a mid-board grab, like a cheap piece that's like relatively tough. But he's got inured to pain, so he has to pay for it. And if he's committing to the center to grab an extract, he's spending his 1 power to grab it. So you're not gonna be able to reduce
Yeah.
the damage at first, and he only has 5 on his front. So that kind of bugs me. Like a lot of those characters who I do that with, like Lizard, Luke Cage, Bay Ray Bill, like they can all reduce the damage when I throw them out there. But Noir,
Yeah.
his dick's kind of hanging in the wind outside of Spider Sense. But if they come up with like a Mystic Attacker and they're just like, "Hey, bitch," I mean,
Gotta survive the first attack.
yeah.
Yeah, it could be a little bit rough.
That's my nitpick about him, because that's kind of like the role that I see him in. And
yeah, I do like him.
He doesn't quite fill the role for me. Like it's fine. It's better than a lot of their other options, but it's not ideal.
Yeah, it is definitely not ideal. I have had good success with like just double moving him onto another point and just letting my opponent kind of go into him and he's taking the point. But yeah, it does kind of suck if you're not like if you hadn't planned it right. But you're probably like you're gonna have some sort of mid grab right between Cat Spider and ASM, maybe. I
Maybe.
guess it depends on if Cat Spider makes the actual 10. I don't know, but that's Tactics cards. We'll talk about that. I do really like Noir though, man. He is like his ability to like, man, he can throw 4 dice and throw 7 dice, and it's like, oh, he just like, and then hit you with a terrain piece, and you're like, that's way more damage than I thought I was gonna take. He's I think he's pretty good. Um, I like Ultimate Spider-Man. I think he is also really good. He does kind of compete with Miles, obviously, and I think you maybe could make a roster build without taking 3-threat Miles, but I just don't know if that's because currently my roster does not have 3-threat Miles in there, but just because I'm purposely trying not to like default to his leadership, so
That
I
makes sense.
play other stuff. And it like I don't think I've missed Miles in my games that I played without him. Like there's spots where it'd have been like, maybe he might have been cool here, but like I ended up taking Ultimate Spider-Man or 2099 or something, and it ended up being pretty good. So, and the other problem with Miles is that sometimes, like I said, he could just get blown up. Like, man, like if he gets caught like by somebody like Apocalypse or something, he just like he folds. I mean, 5 health is not a lot, right? Uh, I I liked all the other webs. I think Silk is very good, but she is kind of complicated to play because there's periods of time where you want to move her, but you also want to be able to attack, and her spender is really expensive. So sometimes you can't get the ability to like spend her and move. But like her, I mean, she's just like annoyingly tanky, and like between her traps and being able to like escape, it's really easy for her to like to take an extract and then just like completely like evade somebody's chaser like the whole game, because trying to get into her and then she's trapsing you and moving away, or she's slowing you and then like moving away, it gets really difficult to like pin her down, which I really like. I think her beam is excellent. Her push thing is okay. It's fine. 2099 is good. Ham is really good. Ham. So the first time I activated Ham, I ended up getting the shock on somebody. Like he just walked up and shocked them and didn't do any damage. I was like, perfect. I gained a power and you didn't gain a power, and I shocked you. It's exactly what I wanted. He like, oh no, actually he doesn't gain a power on his shock. Never mind. That's a 0. But it's still, he can still use it on round 1. The DR is excellent on him, and like JP was saying, he can hide, and you can do stuff like use the glitch to like if you get attacked and you roll a skull, you can like bump behind an object to either obscure line of sight or like get cover from the next attack. And like if you can get out line of sight, like that's pretty cool, because if you're like standing on like say a dumpster, like one of those AMG dumpsters, if he bumps on the other side of that, even if you're in range 2, you're still out of line of sight of him, which is kind of bonkers. Like it can be something that saves his life, right? I really do like that a lot. And just his ability to like, I mean, he can throw out a ton of conditions like randomly. And I mean, he's the only 2-threat with stagger. Well, no, I guess Widow has stagger too.
Mhm.
But hers is a little more awkward because you have to do damage. And it's like 4 dice or something stupid. I don't even think it's 5. I think it is 4, and you have to do damage. He's good. Who else is in their roster? Shout out to AV. I think AV's good. He's good into specific matchups, like into the Web's mirror and into anybody that you suspect is going to have a bunch of defensive rerolls, like a Namor or something like that. One of the cool things that you can do with the glitch with AV is So when he does his beam, he can beam like 3 characters, right? And if he rolls the skull, he can place to where he's close enough to do a damage with his trigger. So he can like, and you, because you don't go back and measure the rest of the beam still continues. So you can keep hitting that. So say you like got into a position where you're like, oh, I can beam these 3 characters, but I can't quite get this other character that I want to be able to put damage on. I can't quite get him within 2. Well, if you get the glitch, you can just place him within the range and then just start pinging him with all the damage from the subsequent beams, which is actually pretty cool. You can also use it to like, say you've got a beam, you can like bump closer to the, say you could only get 2 people within 2 and one of them's within 3. You could like use the, if you roll the skull, you could like place closer and then just be slapping them all with the extra damage, which is like, it's really, really good. The glitch is just really good with characters with beams. It's like an annoying, like I can just place a bunch of times away from you or place towards you, or like I can imagine that the glitch would be pretty good with Daredevil. Like even though he's not, you know, technically a web, but he is. Yeah, the glitch should be pretty good with him because you can like use it to like get him in range to be able to clap back, and like there's a lot of stuff you can use with him. What else do they got? That's like I think Fourth Threat Parker is, I mean, we all kind of think he's pretty bad. He also competes between the other 2 Parkers, and I think Spectacular and ASM just beat him handedly, especially Spectacular. Like Spectacular just does so much shit. Like that dude can like, he can like, if he's got power, man, he can like place and throw people and like push 2 people off objectives with impact webs, and you're just like, how did I get, you know, like 3 of my characters moved by a 3 threat? How did that happen? Like,
I mean, to be fair, 4 threat Parker has the most displacement on his card of like anybody in the game.
he does, but like it also becomes the question like he should have a web swing. Like I don't know why he doesn't. Like it's just weird.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he was the first character they did, and they didn't know what they were doing yet.
Yeah, he definitely feels dated, and
Yes.
it's just hard to get any use out of him. Moon Knight is fine. He can he can do the thing, like he can randomly pop off on people on the webbed up turn. I will say, like you're like, oh, now you're rolling. All of a sudden, you're rolling what, like 8 dice, reroll all, including skulls, because you got the thing that gives you extra dice, and you're like, oh, well, take this 8 dice builder, and I get to reroll everything. Stupid. But outside of that, he's all right. As rapid fire is really good. I think he's the only character in the game with a range 4 rapid fire and stealth, right? I don't think anybody else can do that.
Um,
I think that's right.
Yeah, because I think the only super far range ones are him and Bucky, right? They're the only ones over 3.
there's commandos.
Oh
Are you
yeah,
talking
no,
about
commandos don't
you
commandos don't
talking
have
about
rapid
stealth
fire.
or rapid fire?
No, I'm talking about rapid
rapid
fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the only character with a range 4 rapid fire and stealth, right? Like nobody else has that.
I feel like there was one other one that came out recently, but I could just be making that up.
I mean, I know Maverick. Maverick
He's a 3.
has,
He's range 3.
yeah,
He
he's
doesn't have
range
stealth
3,
either.
so like he doesn't have
Yep.
stealth. So point being, I think you could use Moon Knight. He was super popular in the builds when Advanced R&D existed because he could like walk up, rapid fire, Advanced R&D, and you know pass a bunch of power. Outside of that, he's out. But like I said, the webs, they have so many good 3s. It's really difficult to fit any of these like subpar 3s in there, right? Like like I'm even debating right now whether my current roster keeps Gwen. Like I don't even know. I really like her, but like I'm never like in all of my games I've played with the new stuff. I haven't put Gwen on the table yet because I just haven't wanted to. Not that she's bad. I mean, I think she's amazing, but sometimes she can be just squishy, right? And it's hard to find a place to fit her. But I mean, she is like if she has an activation where she's like double moving and pulling, you know, most of your team off of points, then she feels really fucking stupid. Let's see. Is that all of them? That's all the webs, right? You didn't miss anybody?
I have heard
Unless
nobody say.
Scarlet Spider. He is like you just take Spectacular. His kit and Spectacular's kit are almost identical. Like he's slightly better defensively, and he can gain power off of his builder. And I guess he has the web whip, which I don't value that much because I don't like the fact that you have to be within range 3 to use it. But like Spectacular's kit is just, I mean, they have the same character throw. Like they're extremely similar.
I don't think
Their
Scarlet's
spenders
bad.
almost. No, I don't think Scarlet's bad either. No,
He's not bad per
I think
se, but yeah.
it's just tough. He's also a 4, and like it's like, does he bump any? Like, I don't think he bumps out. Like, I don't even think he bumps out Spider Woman, right? I think he takes Spider Woman before he take him, and so like you get into this debate of like there's only so much space in a roster for 4s, and
Yeah.
like especially if you want to be splashing characters too, because like
Yeah.
you're probably going to be wanting to splash somebody like a Chi or a Bill with Miles, so like all those other 4s just get kind of pushed aside. Yeah, I think that's
and webs traditionally haven't really wanted a lot of 4s on the table anyway.
yeah. It usually doesn't.
You're taking like maybe
It doesn't
one
work. Yeah,
traditionally. I don't know what they look like now.
I will say I have played. I have played ASM, Ultimate Spider-Man, Silk, and Agent Venom on like a Riots game, and that was actually really, really good because I was just like pivoting everywhere and slowing people and moving them off points. So like that kind of roster that can just have so much mobility and pivot around you it's pretty good and hard to deal with, especially when your characters are getting slowed and then they're just running away from you. Like Silk is just absolutely annoying at that. Yeah, that's it for the characters. I don't think there's any other like 2099 is good. He does stuff. He heals. I like him. 6 dice builder with Pierce. It's good. His place thing is good. His web whip is good. Like he's just a solid character. He can have like he can live way longer than you would think he would live. Especially if your opponent's like going into him and then like doing like, you know, maybe he ends up with like 4 damage on him and then he activates and heals 3 of it, and you're like, well, that was a completely wasted activation.
He kind of reminds me of Dracula a little bit.
Yeah, he's a little bit like Dracula. He doesn't hit as hard as Dracula, but he's a little bit tankier than Dracula.
Just the fact that if you like don't kill him, he can just recoup his lost health pretty quickly. Not as fast as Dracula, but still fairly quickly.
Yeah, and I will say for him, it's much harder to like double tap him because of his place.
Yeah.
Especially if you combine it with the glitch, right? Like you start adding those things together and he's like just you attack him once and he's like completely gone and you're like, oh.
Speaking of the glitch, one thing we didn't mention, and I think I failed to even realize this, but the glitch isn't limited to once per turn, which is kind of interesting because all the other leaderships that have a range 1 place are limited to once per turn. So really, like with the glitch, like you could do some funky stuff with beams off of like AV or
you could do a Daredevil
Noir.
area attacks or Noir or Silk.
You just like hyper bump.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And
it's even off a dodge when you get stuff thrown at you.
Yeah, I've had that come up too. So I've had a terrain get thrown into me, and then I roll a skull and I place away so that they can't attack me now. And it's like, oh, that was pretty good. Like you just completely like waste somebody's activation because now they can't touch you.
Or you could do the reverse. You could take the attack, glitch on top of a piece of terrain. Well, I guess if they throw
Yeah.
the terrain you're glitching on top of, but
Yeah. Well,
like you
if they
can get
can't throw it though, that's like that could be
yeah,
pretty
like
good.
if you glitch into like a size 2 terrain and they're wanting to throw like a size 4 at you,
Yeah.
you're like, okay,
And it's
well,
like,
have fun now.
yeah, I'll take that size too, but you know, like you're not gonna get me with the 4, which is good. It's good. I like it a lot. Yeah, the glitches, it's definitely way better than I had first realized. But it's really difficult to
You can't plan anything
you
around it.
can't
Like
plan you can't plan anything around it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Midnight Suns is
You're
the
just
ultimate planning one, right? Like
yeah.
you know when you can bump, when you want to bump, blah blah blah. And then you've got combo, which is like you have less control, but it's still like, okay, all I have to do is take a damage.
Yeah.
And then this one's like, I have to roll 1 of 8 sides on a die in a 3 dice pool. I guess.
Yeah, it's not I mean it gets a little interesting with their with the characters with mass rerolls. But it'll come up defensively, but it doesn't come up as often.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to capitalize on it offensively. Like when it's your activation and you're placing, you have to have some idea of what you want to do with it. And so sometimes that takes a little bit of like just understanding ranges and understanding where you want to be in positioning. So like if you want to have a crash course in positioning, I think you should play webs, right? Like that'll give you a like immediate crash course in like learning what not to do and what to do.
I mean, if you really want to turn somebody off to the game on their initial exploration of it, just hand them a webs roster and say, pick your favorite characters and have fun.
Good luck with this.
And you'll never see them again.
Or maybe they'll love it.
Oh,
Maybe they'll love it. Who knows?
I love getting my ass kicked.
all right. So let's talk about where webs fit on our tier list. Just as a reminder, S tier is the.
We can't skip tactics cards, especially
Oh
with webs.
God, you're right.
Totally
You're right.
can't
You're
do it.
right. Sorry. You're right. Oh my God, what a mess. All right, let's go to tactics cards. There are. Alex, let's go to you for the webs tactics cards. We have. Should know this. There are. In exchange to the Web of the Spider-Verse, there's 1, 2, 3, I think 6 that are still available. So what are your thoughts, Alex, with regards to the Web Warriors tactics cards?
In today's current meta, I think every last one of them are good. Because like the one that was kind of on the fence whether it was good or not, I felt was Aunt May's wheat cakes. Not that healing was bad and removing slow was bad. It just of all the cards that you would take in your 5, you know, is Aunt May's wheat cakes really gonna take a spot over brace and or fallback? Probably not. Is it gonna take a spot over all webbed up? Probably not. Is it going to take a spot over Spider Tracker? Again, probably not. So it was kind of low on that list, but with the current meta, with Apocalypse everywhere, the healing and removing slow is definitely worth it. All webbed up, fantastic card. Spider Tracker, fantastic card. As we've been talking, Web of the Spider Verse, also a fantastic card. I'm trying to think what the other ones are.
The new ones are Brief Reprieve and Clone Saga.
Oh, Brief Reprieve. I forgot that was a Webs card. I thought that was just a USM card. Yeah, also same situation. Especially with like Apocalypse. healing or removing a condition is super important. And then Clone Saga, okay, I guess I'll take that back. That's probably the bad one. That one's not that worth it.
I will say about Ultimate Spider-Man's card, it also says if you're already activated, you gain a power, which is interesting and kind of unique.
Yeah, that is nice because you get basically refunded the power that you spent to remove the condition or heal the damage.
Yeah, it's really good for like Noir, right? Because like if he has one power, you want to like, oh, I can remove this condition and I get to gain a power back so that I have power to reduce.
Or you just take off a stagger for free. That's not terrible.
Yeah, I mean it's still good.
All right, David. Any additional thoughts on the tactics cards?
So all their tactics cards are good. Like Alex was saying, Mass Menace is an outstanding ability to like have a round where you can gain a ton of power, especially now with all these new webs that have beams like Noir and Silk. It also isn't limited to once per turn, and it isn't limited to like it isn't limited to your turn. So like if Ultimate Spider-Man attacks somebody with his counter attack, he can gain a power while Mass Menace is up. And somebody like Silk, if she does damage with her traps, she can gain power off of that because it's a superpower, which is pretty cool. I will say some of the synergies with like Silk and Spider Tracker. So Spider Tracker is a really interesting card. You can in the webs chat there was this discussion about charge and what happens if you charge somebody and they Spider Tracker. Well, if you charge somebody and they Spider Tracker, if they get out of range of the attack, the character that charged can't attack them. And if they and if there's another character within the range of the charge, they must attack that other character. So like I didn't realize that there was a clause in there. I didn't realize you could just like if you charge somebody and they tracker away, I thought you just like didn't have to attack, but it turns out you have to attack. So if there's somebody in range, they have to get hit, which is kind of interesting if you like are like taking
If you're engineering a Rube Goldberg on somebody in real
yeah,
time.
you could definitely engineer Rube Goldberg on somebody in real time. It's I mean, it's really good with Silk in the sense that she can also like if somebody charges you, you can traps them and you can like Spider Tracker, so you can get like double move out of it. I mean, any scenario where they move within 3 of her, she can do that, right? Which is actually pretty good. So when we did the box reviews on all of the characters, they left out a couple of cards that we didn't see, and one of them was the Silk and Black Cat Steel card. So that card is pretty good. I think if there's a scenario where you're putting Cat and Silk on the table, I think you would consider playing it because there's no range restriction or anything like that. Cat just has to be on the table. That's the only restriction. But it gives Silk Cat Steel, which is really obnoxious because Cat is an annoying character to deal with if she steals your objective, and so is Silk, because Silk can like steal your objective and run away, and like if you're playing ASM's leadership, she can slow you and run away. And then it's like, oh, now you're slowed and you're coming into me. I'm going to gain power. I'm going to trap you and I'm going to run away more. So like your ability to like just be super annoying to characters that want to try to chase you and steal, take your extract back. Like she just becomes a fantastic character for that. And I really like that combination. But it does require you to take Black Cat which Black Cat's a good character, so there's definitely a room there. But
Not really much.
I
Not really much of hardship there.
well, the problem becomes is like the Web's cards are just so good, so it's very hard to like fit in that extra because like you're gonna take all webbed up, like that's probably just every game card. And then you're probably going to take your 2 restricteds. Maybe you don't take brace in certain circumstances, but like it's probably pretty rare. I mean, considering the fact that the webs, a lot of them have rerolls on their dodge, so you could potentially get away with not taking brace, especially if they don't have any characters that can throw size 4s at you. But you know, once you're taking your 2 restricted and all of it up, that leaves 2 slots, right? So it's like,
Maybe.
do you take? Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
If you're taking multiverse, you
It's-
only have one.
Yeah, exactly. If you're taking multiverse, you only have one. And then if you're like, if you want to play Mass Menace, or if you want to take Ultimate Spider-Man's card, which is also an excellent card. If you want to take the card with ASM or with any Peter Parker and is it any Miles Morales too? It's either any of those two, right? It can be whoever, right?
Yeah, it's either
One
or.
of them. Yeah, and one of them plays it, the other one places and attacks. That card is, I'm gonna be honest, I have taken it in 3 games and I have yet to actually play it because it's very difficult to figure out a time. Like the timing windows on it are weird. It's like your characters both got to have 2 power on them, and they both got to be within 3 each other, and you both got to have a situation where you want to move one of them and let the other one make an attack. Like it's really good with Ultimate Spider-Man, but like how often is Ultimate Spider-Man going to be next to like an ASM where you would want to do that, especially on a crisis where you're like pivoting and rotating around? And then I think Spectacular, like he's already so power strapped. Like he wants to use his power to do so many other things. Like I just don't think he wants to be spending power to place Miles or to place himself to attack. It's just not his attacks are not like it's not like his attacks are amazing. They're fine, but like you're just getting like probably a 5 dice attack. I like I said, I do like with Ultimate Spider-Man because like pulling somebody off a point out of activation and slowing them is pretty good, and it can move Miles around, which is also good. Let's see what else we got. Spy Tracker's good. Mentioned that. Are there any other cards that Wheat Cakes is fine. I think you take it in the overall meta, right? You've got teams like Apocalypse where they're going to be trying to slow your characters so that they can prevent you from running away. And so that could be a time where Weak Cakes becomes valuable. And it's obviously valuable into the mirror match because then you can just remove they're all webbed up, which is really good. Outside of that, yeah, their text are good. It's hard to fit them in.
I got a hot take. I think Protege is like one of the better webs cards. Not that it's unaffiliated, but you're probably only taking it in webs.
Oh yeah, that's the cat card. Yeah, I think that card's really good.
Mhm.
Like just having a steal, like a conditionless steal.
Yeah, it's
the threat of a conditionless steal is very, very powerful. Like robbery, like robbery is a better card for sure. Just because like Protege takes an action, but still, and Silk doesn't have problems generating power. She's got a range 3 beam that a gainer. Like she's gonna have power for this card.
Yeah, she definitely is gonna have power for this card. Like she
Also,
has better power economy than Cat, right? So like
Cat has terrible power economy.
Exactly.
Like, she doesn't get her stuff online for a little while, whereas Silk could. I don't know what the like play pattern with this is. Ideally, you'd want to get away with the extract, so you'd have. I feel like for an ideal turn, you'd want to be within 1 of a character already, and then activator, drop the card, and then run long.
Which is definitely a good use for it.
Yeah, I mean, stealing is just so powerful in this game, and I like her character card. It was just like the new box was just such a blow to the kind of the current web strategy of stealing things, but this kind of makes up for it a little bit. Because I don't know, I'm trying to think like the times I do put Miles or Cat or somebody on the table, like how often am I spinnering with Miles? How often am I like doing Cat's steal? Maybe twice, maybe. A lot of times it's
Yeah,
only
it's very
once in a
yeah, a
game.
lot of times, especially with Cat, because like she's
Yeah,
so power strapped.
yeah. Like if she gets dazed, she wakes up with a lot of power, but like I don't know. It's not rare or even very it's not even unlikely that I play a game with Cat and only get her steal off once. So like Protege, like okay, it's a tactics card, you can only use it once. But I mean, realistic like if Silk had this superpower, it'd be stupid as hell because she's got a beam gainer. So that would
Yeah.
that would never happen, but like typically a character with something like this doesn't well, we're just gonna ignore voodoo. Doesn't have like a good way to gen power enough to really abuse it super hard. Um, so yeah, I mean, this combined with just a rock solid 4 threat on the table, like I like this card a lot. I think it's probably one of the better cards you can take in your 5 if you're putting these two characters on the board.
Well,
All
and it's
right.
really good at having the ability to like, because like sometimes you can get a character like Hulk or something that you just can't get an extract off of, and like having the ability to just go, I'm gonna take your extract now, like that can be the difference of the game, right?
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on the tactics cards before we go into a tier list? All right. So let's go ahead and tier up the Web Warriors. Just as a reminder, our tiers S tier is a model, affiliation whose leadership actively increases your chances to be winning. A tier is it's an affiliation that's solid. You can win with it. The affiliation isn't pushing you over the edge, but it's also not hurting you. B tier is it's a good affiliation, but it has some fatal flaws. C tier is an affiliation that you could win with, but the leadership or the affiliation is actually working against you. And then D tier is Sentinels. So David, where do Web Warriors fit on our tier list?
So when I was at Second Wind, I got dog walked on riots and scientific samples by a really good webs player, and he played like basically the old school like webs roster. He played Miles, Cat, Gwen, Zemo, Wong, and Spectacular, and like I could not keep up in that game. Like it was so hard for me to score. Like he was just like maneuvering around me and I couldn't do anything, and he was consistently he would use Gwen to just pull whoever was scoring my bonus VP um, for the samples. He would just like use Gwen to just pull that character away from a point, and I would like basically it would be like I'd score 4, he'd score 5. I'd score 4, he'd score 5, and then he just pushed on that last like, and I just couldn't keep up. So that was like the perfect storm of like I got his best crisis and he pulled the best extract he could have of mine, and it just like I realized then that I was like I did not plan for webs enough. And so having said that, that meets my criteria of like if you're having to plan for an affiliation, and if you go to an event and they're like one of the teams you got to be planning for, and I think that you plan for webs, so I think these dudes are S tier. Like I think they're just good. Like there's so many different builds now, and like I don't even know how it's all going to shake out, but I mean, they're just good. Like, I think they're S tier.
JP?
Holy fuck, the gush bucket is overflowing. My God. So here's where I'm going to diverge from David quite a bit. In my heart, in a vacuum, webs are S tier. You look at that
Okay.
roster and you look at all the shit that they can do, and they're like just stupid. But that's just not playing out in reality, and it hasn't for a while. Especially with the dawn of Apocalypse and how he's just kind of like beating, like he's winning a lot of tournaments. Even he's just a prolific S tier list who shits on webs, and I don't like in the current meta. I just don't see how they're S tier, and anything new that they can do has not been proven in reality yet. Like there's no statistics to back up anything to the contrary of them kind of getting edged out by APOC at this point. So I'm gonna go B plus.
Okay.
I think they're good in the right. If they dodge their bad matchups, they're really fucking good. But in a world where there's an S tier Midnight Suns who has a lot of Mystic attackers, there's an S tier APOC with Mystic attackers, like just bullies. Like I don't see them being S tier in this meta. Maybe it'll change. Maybe the new box will like give them like a different angle to take where they can really I don't know, leverage something. I don't know. It's possible, but it's yet to be proven.
I will say I do like the fact that a lot of the new webs can reroll skulls and can do it for Mystic, like Ultimate Spider-Man and Silk and 2099.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
We'll see. I'm just saying, like, it hasn't proven anything as a list, so I can't in good faith give them an S tier on like an unproven, like theoretical list that might or may not be good into their what's considered bad matchups currently.
Alex, what do you think?
First, I'm going to start by saying, JP, you had mentioned the current meta being like a dawn of apocalypse. I'm so disappointed in you. That was such a great opportunity to say an age of apocalypse.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, you missed that. I don't know. But I've thought about it. I talked about it with David. Originally, when I talked with David, I thought they were S tier as well. But I think like in my heart right now, and just keeping in mind with the meta and the fact that they have to try so hard to, basically they have to eat up 2 of their tactics cards to keep up with the meta and not die immediately. I have to give them an A. I don't think they're quite low enough B for B. You have to plan for them, but if your plan is take Apocalypse, you're fine.
All right. All right. Any final thoughts on webs before we move on?
play
Okay.
all of their leaderships. I would say try the glitch out. It's really fun. It's a really cool leadership. There's just so much you can do with it. Play around with it.
Alrighty, so our next affiliation, I'm gonna guess we won't spend as much time on. It's Winter Guard. Winter Guard has 1 leadership on Crimson Dynamo. JP, any thoughts on Crimson Dynamo's leadership?
I mean, it's not unique, but it has the rare attribute of being able to remove a condition. I think the only other one is Thor 1, which is very powerful in certain conditions or metas. So, I mean, it's okay. And then the push, what is it? Can't be pushed when they're if you roll a die if they're contesting, and if you roll a blank or a
It's a crit wild shield, I
wild
believe.
shield, yeah.
Yep.
Then you're not pushed. So
Yep.
you got a 3 and 8 chance of not getting pushed. Like it's fine. The leadership's fine. It's not great. Like I don't love it. It's not like I had said in an earlier episode that I tend to gravitate toward affiliations that have leaders that have really fucking awesome leaderships, and I don't consider this a really awesome leadership. It's serviceable. It's fine.
All right. So let's move on to their roster. Hasn't well, I guess it technically has. Their roster is Crimson Dynamo, Black Widow, Dark Star, Omega Red, Red Guardian, Ursa Major, and Winter Soldier Operative. Alex, what do we think about Winter Guard's roster?
It's fine. I don't hate it. I don't love it though. Dark Star, poo poo. They got the worst of the two Winter Soldiers. I feel. I don't understand why the other Winter Soldier's not on their roster, but I don't understand AMG's roster affiliation list 90% of the time anyway.
While I agree with you, Alex, it does beg the question: like, does it matter? Since he's a rogue agent, like what? Like Winterguard don't even have any good cards. Like he can't play the
Sovereign Strike, right?
the terrain card, huh? Sovereign Strike, yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
He can't play the terrain card, the Sovereign Strike card, and like what else? Like there's not really. They don't have access to a cool like Wakanda Forever. Oh, that stupid thing! No, get the fuck out of here with your Rube Goldberg. That card sucks donkey dick. Get out of here.
Hey, what if you want to play? If I get where you're coming from when it comes to like being a rogue agent, but what if I want to play Taskmaster too, and I want to play a 3-threat Bucky, and I want to play with Crimson Dynamo, and that's it, and I want to be affiliated. I can't be fucking affiliated anymore.
Why not?
I would say at that point you are drunk.
Why can't you be affiliated?
Okay, Sentinels player, I don't want to hear shit.
Because you can't be affiliated because you can only use one rogue agent.
Oh, is that a rule?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
It says on the rogue agent card.
Shit. I've been playing this game for like 5 years. I didn't know you could only use one rogue agent.
Yep.
Astonishing.
There's only two of them anyway, right?
Astonishing that never comes up. Who could have seen that coming?
Are there only two?
Yeah, there's only two.
Yeah, because Punisher just nobody fucking likes that guy. Well, defenders do now, I guess, but
he's a defender now. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll take anybody.
That dude was just a edgy loner in the back of his van, just polishing his guns.
Now it's just Gladiator.
Now he's friends with the blind guy.
He calls him Red.
A blind guy and a doctor.
A little strange, but
all right. JP, David, any other thoughts on Winter Guard's roster?
Their characters are, first of all, like they're just like most of them are just not good. Like even Bucky, Bucky's not great. Like, I mean, Two-Threat Widow's fine. She's a 2, but she doesn't really like. I don't even know what Winter Guard is like actively trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, I like Red Guardian is fine. I do like his pushes on his. Is it a gainer or builder? I don't know, whatever it is.
That's a gainer.
But he has auto pushes on it. He has auto pushes on his gainer, and he's got the shield throw, which is fine. He can do some stuff. He can be annoying. I think Dynamo is the standout character in the entire affiliation, and I feel like Dynamo's kind of like ever since the new Crisis changes, he's kind of fallen off a cliff. Like nobody sees that dude anymore. But he used to be. I mean, like that dude was the king of ease, right? Like he just wrecked people.
So good on ease.
Yeah, he was so good on ease. And yeah, he's fallen off a cliff. So like, I don't know what to do with that. The bear is like fine, but he's missing something. Probably DR. I don't know. He's fine. His spender is, I mean, he has a stupider version of Kingpin spender, right? Like, doesn't it throw any size?
That's size 4.
Okay, yeah. Still, I mean, it's a stupider version of Kingpin spender, right? Like,
it's basically really Kingpin's old spender. But no, because Kingpin's was in unlimited size, but
It was, but
At the time,
Still.
it was unlimited size. There were no size 5s, so it didn't really matter.
his spender is really good, and he has charge. He's got stuff, but he's just not. He's just not. He's not very tough for a bear, a Russian bear that you would think would be tougher. Dark Star is just bad. He's just bad. Yeah, their affiliate characters are very like I think if you're playing these guys, you want to be trying to splash the good stuff. You know what I mean? Like you want to try to be splashing the characters that can like use the leadership to like remove staggers, like a Hulk or something like that. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't really know what to do with these guys. They're mostly just a bunch of like C to D tier characters, which kind of sucks for them.
All right, so Winter Guard has 2 tactics cards. It is, I just had that pulled up. It is Sovereign Strike and Winter Rush. David, what do we think of those cards?
Summer Strike's good. Like you can randomly, because you can blow up a size 4, right?
Yep.
What's the
Yeah.
size?
Up 4 or less within 4 of the character.
And does it? They take a dodge roll
Nope.
for the size.
Just all characters
Oh,
within 1 suffer 2 damage.
Okay, so it can be randomly good to like clear out a piece of terrain if it's in your way, or if you want to randomly damage a bunch of characters. Side
They
note: I'm
also-
pretty sure it damages everybody, right? Not
It
just
is all characters, so you can hurt your friends.
It
Yeah.
is worth noting that they don't have anyone in affiliation who's throw size 4s, and typically size 4s tend to be bigger, so it's like you can potentially hit more people with it and get a size 4 off the table that's not going to get thrown into your face.
Yeah. I think it's a good card. I think there's definitely uses for it. If you're playing Winter Guard, you're probably going to bring it.
100%.
Their other
The fact that
card,
the fact like it's a good ability, right? Like on Mystique, and who
Mhm.
else has it? Does Punisher have it? Who's got that?
yeah, but
it's
is it? It's
Punisher.
not,
Goblin.
Oh no,
no,
it's not
Goblin is Trick or Treat. No, it is Punisher. You're talking
It's
about the
Punisher.
kill box.
Oh, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
The issue with that is it's always an action, right? Like you'd rather
Yeah.
just rapid fire with the character than use an action, but like having it on a text card that doesn't require an action, and it's like all the things we talked about before, like being able to take off a size 4 and stuff. It's pretty good, especially when you like having damage that's like a known quantity where you don't have to roll dice or anything is very, very powerful in this game.
Yeah, I mean it can randomly, take out multiple characters in an activation, which
Well, I
is
mean,
pretty
not
good.
randomly, right? Well, I see what you're saying, like the situation where characters
Yeah.
get 2 or less. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
like there's no randomness to it. It's like, okay, well, that guy's
yeah,
gonna die.
he's gonna die. Yeah, exactly. You can definitely ensure it, and you can use characters like Red Guardian to push enemy models like into a terrain piece and then blow it up, which is also pretty good.
I mean, I would argue that it's even good against a single target. Like it's not it's one of those characters where you look at it and you want to be greedy, but like if you can just use it to kill a guy that has 2 health left, just not using an action, not having to roll dice, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good, and it doesn't. Does it have to be the active character?
That was what I was actually thinking about as I was saying those words, and I don't know because I'm not a Winter Guard player.
Just had it pulled up. Give me a
Alex,
second.
you got some Winter Guard experience, is it?
I don't think it is. I think it's just an active card.
Yeah, it's just active. Any Winter Guard can play it.
Yeah.
So- that
yeah,
could be.
I have Winter Guard games under my belt, but I think the last time I played them was like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, so any can spend 3 to play it. So that's another thing. You can kind of like stack an activation where someone else spends the power to do it, and then you have a full activation of another character who like just does whatever they want to do with all their power.
Yeah, or you could use it to like daze or KO a model and then activate somewhere else on the table, which is pretty powerful too.
Yeah. Or I mean, it's range 4, size up to size 4. So like size 4s can be really big. Like a size 4 could be like a range 3 stick across, right? So you could have a scenario where you spend power off someone all the way across the table to affect somebody on the other side, and then activate somebody on that side, and like really leverage that extra 2 damage with an activation on that side as well. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah, I mean, basically what we're saying is if you're gonna play Winter Guard, you're gonna take the card. Like it's good.
well, that and they just don't have. They have 2 cards, and one of them
Yeah.
sucks. And like we don't have any good. We don't have any good neutral cards anymore. You take your 2 restricted, your Sovereign Strike, and then hopefully you have enough characters so you can like scrap together the remaining 2 cards out of character cards.
Yeah. Or you're taking Recal or something, which
Yeah, I
is
suppose recals.
fine.
I mean, recal is like a godsend to affiliations like Winter Guard.
Okay, any final thoughts on Winter Guard's tactics before we move into tearing them up?
I guess get fucked, David, with your Rube Goldberg shit. We're not even going to talk about the other one.
Eh.
Yeah, it's just you get to move if they damage you. If they damage somebody, you get to move a bunch of characters. That's what it does.
Yeah, it's like it's Avengers Assemble with extra steps, and it costs I think like 6 times as much.
So, Winter Guard, during the power phase, any number of Winter Guard characters may spend any number of power. If 6 or more is played, each time an allied character is damaged by an enemy effect this round after the effect is resolved, another allied Winter Guard character may advance short towards the enemy character that caused the effect.
That card would be a lot better if it didn't have the clause you had to go toward.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. 100%.
Like that card actually be
bad.
good if you could just advance anywhere. Like
100%. 100%.
But yeah, it's. I mean, maybe you bring it. I don't know. It's not amazing.
I mean, it's not a useless card, but you're hoping you don't have to take it. Like it's like the fucking like the pull in case of emergency card.
Yeah, where you're like, I don't.
Card shit.
All right, guess gonna take this. Yeah, it's not great. Well, and like a lot of their characters too, are like, I mean, Bucky does not want to be advancing toward people. Neither does like Widow or like half their characters, like Dark Star. You don't want them moving towards it. I mean, that doesn't make any damn sense.
I mean, the only application I can see is getting like playing against a team that has a lot of displacement and just using it to get back onto points that you were thrown or pushed off of, or setting up like a double attack from a specific range band. But I don't know. It's not a great card.
No, it's not. It's definitely not.
All right. So, any other thoughts before we move on to tiering?
Nope.
Okay.
I got nothing.
JP, what tier do we put Winter Guard?
Oh, well, I don't think they're D. I think they're still playable. They're not good though. I'm gonna say, God, I want to say C or C minus. Well, I'll go C. I'll be generous. I'll give them a C.
Okay.
I don't think they're good though at all. But they're just not like Black Order level bad.
Right. Alex?
So, taking their leadership into consideration, I'm gonna have to say they're S tier because Apocalypse hates that shit. So S tier, those obviously. No. I would have to agree with JP. I think they are C tier. They're not complete dog shit, but boy, if you end up winning this tournament, you had some crazy fucking luck.
David, how about you?
I'm giving these guys a C, but only because I quite like Dynamo as a character, and I think he's pretty good. But if they didn't have Dynamo, they would be so bad. It would be like just so bad. So yeah,
And-
C.
Okay. All right. Any last thoughts on Winter Guard before we move on?
Kill it with fire. Kill it before it lays eggs. Let's go. Next one. Hurry.
feel like that's harsh given some of the other affiliations we've dealt with. All right. So we move on to X-Force.
We're just at the finish line. I just don't want to talk about them anymore. Let's move on to bigger and brighter things.
We are at the finish line. X-Force has just the one leader, and that is Cable. Alex, you want to talk a little bit about Cable's leadership?
Cable's leadership, what works? You can reroll once per turn a single attack dice if you are within range 3. And if you do, you can reroll a skull. And if you do not count cover for that attack. It's fun. It's a obviously it was way worse because it used to be just reroll an attack dice, and that's all you got. You didn't get to reroll skulls. It didn't ignore cover for that one attack. It got better. I still don't think it's that great. I never thought it was good to begin with. I still don't think it is. I've played X-Force. The one reroll ain't shit, especially when there's characters in the game looking at you in humans that are like, okay, we'll just re-roll a dice. It's not a skull, but like we'll just re-roll a dice because we're Inhumans. I don't like this leadership. I don't like it. I don't think it's that great.
JP, David, any additional thoughts on X-Force's leadership?
So I would like to add that like what you said, Alex, is not entirely correct. You can re-roll an attack dice always, and you can re-roll a skull. The only thing you have to be within 3/4 is to ignore the cover. Which
okay, I'm sorry, my wording for the skull was incorrect. I said you could just re-roll an attack dice, but the re-rolling of the skull is what I specified within range 3 and the cover. So apologies.
Yeah, so it only ignores the cover if you're within. You have to be within 3D to ignore the cover. But anyways, I think it's fine leadership. It does a thing. There's places to use it. They do have quite a few characters. We'll get to that like having a reroll is beneficial to them. But I mean, it's still kind of a meh leadership. And there's also like characters who like completely turn this leadership off, like Cat and like randomly Bass Panther and like a few other characters like Angela and Medusa, right? Are those the only other ones? Well, either way, basically there are characters that exist that can completely cancel this leadership out, which can sometimes make it not great. But it's fine. Rerolls are good. I don't hate it. I don't love it either, though.
I think it's perfectly serviceable. It's not a great leadership, but it gets work done. I think it works for X-Force too, like what they're doing. There's some synergy there.
X-Force's roster is Cable, Archangel, Bishop, Colossus, Deadpool, Domino, Honey Badger, Psylocke, Sabretooth, Sunspot, Warlock, Wolverine, and X-23. David, what do we think about X-Force's roster?
Most of their characters are serviceable. Cable's solid. He does a thing. I mean, sometimes that dude can just like randomly gat you down, and then sometimes he doesn't do anything. I mean, his damage output can be respectable. Definitely don't underestimate how much damage he can do, especially if he's like, like double buildering with like 3 rerolls and then 2 rerolls and then throwing a terrain piece at you. Like he can get some work done.
Re-rolling out of a skull lock is not inconsequential for X-Force.
Especially on a character like Cable who has 2 other innate rerolls, which is right. It's good. No, I like it.
Or Deadpool or whatever. Like we got or X-23, she has an innate reroll.
Yeah, they all have a lot of the X-Force characters themselves have good synergy with the leadership, which is pretty good, which is something that you're kind of looking for.
It's something that I noticed playing Cable under Steve was that if you have a bad attack roll, with with any kind of skull locks, it really caps your output.
Yeah, it can be definitely not great for him. But it's also good on Deadpool. Like, I mean, he can definitely use it. X23 uses it. Domino, I mean, Domino's just good. Like, I sometimes I think people are kind of sleeping on Domino. Like, she can just like randomly go off on people. Sabretooth is fine. I do like that he can use the reroll on his clapback, but I mean, Sabretooth has other issues like survivability being one of them, and so it's kind of weird with him. And he's a 4 threat, and you're already taking a 5 threat leader, so you're like, am I really taking this guy? I'm not sure. Wolverine is fine. I mean, he can get, I guess, a little bit more blendery with a reroll, but it's kind of whatever with him. Who else is in there? Badger's, I don't know, she's 2 threat. Like, you probably are playing her in X-Force just because she's a 2 threat and she kind of contributes to their game plan, which is I want to attack you. So, like, that's good when you're like you're re-rolling dice and you're also knocking them down defense, and it also stacks with Incinerate. So like you can get into a situation where like somebody's rolling 1 defense dice. Let's see who else is in there. Colossus is fine. He can be a bit power strapped especially in the leaderships that don't like give him power. Like the reroll can kind of get him there, but it's not fantastic. But I do like Colossus. I think he's fine if you wanted to take him. Who was in there? Sunspot. Shout out to why the fuck is Sunspot not an X-Men? Sunspot is interesting. I like him as a character, but like nobody even plays him. So like I don't know even what to make of that.
I mean, he's not very good, right?
Yeah, he's just got.
He's a 4 threat. He's just. I don't know what he's doing that's even competing with good 4 threats.
Yeah, well, and he like you're really trying to like get work out of his flare tokens, and I don't think Cable's leadership really helps him get work out of flare tokens. So like I just don't know.
He's got a really interesting and cool kit mechanically speaking, but it just doesn't translate to a very powerful kit on the board.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's just like at this point in the game, I mean, he's just mechanically he's super cool, but I mean competitively he's not there.
No, he's not there. His survivability definitely leaves a little to be desired.
Yeah, I think he's got
for 4 threat especially.
Three physical.
Yeah. On a 4 threat.
He's a 6. Is he 6'5"?
I think he's 6'5" or 5'6". I know he's not 6'6".
He's not 6'6", right? He's at 11 health. 11 health with three physical, no, absolutely 0 defensive tech.
He's 6'6".
Is he 6'6"? Okay.
Oh, he's a 6'6". Okay. Even still, three physical, no tech is still not great.
3 physical, 6'6", no tech. I don't. It's kind of rough. It's kind of rough,
especially on a 4. Who else they got? I'm sure they got somebody that's like
Archangel or Warlock.
Oh God, Warlock! I don't even know what to do with Warlock. That guy's just, I don't know, he exists. Yeah, I don't know. The rest of the characters or whatever.
Is Psylocke not in X-Force?
Yeah, Psylocke's in X-Force.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Psylocke's pretty good. Like, I think you can get work out of Psylocke. But like, you're also investing in a 4 too. Like, I mean, I suppose if you're gonna play X-Force, you're gonna want to try to control priority. So,
well, that was always kind of a weird thing with X-Force. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have pretty solid 3s. I feel like X-Force was kind of one of those weird attrition teams that wanted to, well, not go necessarily wide, but not go tall.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
cable obviously is like a 5 threat, but after that, it was like you have a lot of you got X-23, you got Domino, you got Deadpool. Like you start filling up with 3s really quick, and then you're suddenly 5 wide.
yeah. Which I mean is still fine. And cable can kind of shield people, keep some of your characters alive. Like he does a thing.
I think this roster feels really tired. Feels really tired. It's like paisley wallpaper. It's like in need of a remodel.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's like some late 70s, early 80s decor. We just gotta, I don't know. X-Force needs a facelift.
They're getting too old for this shit.
And they lost exceptional healing.
Yeah, losing exceptional healing was very, very, very tough for them.
Like it sucks for everybody, but I mean, X-Force just,
Well, they had
I don't know.
so many characters that could use it, and
That and their tactics cards weren't great anyway, so there's a low opportunity cost to take exceptional in your 5 because it wasn't kicking out a great card.
yeah. No, you're definitely right.
Okay. So there are, with regards to their tactics card, there are 4 of them. Cat and Mouse, Dirty Work,
Shit.
Preserve the Dream, and Pretty Sneaky Sis. JP, what do we think of their tactics cards?
Well, Cat and Mouse is an every game card. It's just a no-brainer. You get to scoot cable up. I mean, probably cable. It could be somebody else, but typically it's cable because, like, why wouldn't you move your 5 threat up that has range 5? Like, it seems like the obvious choice. Pretty Sneaky Sis is actually pretty legit in the right circumstances on the right maps, but it's definitely highly variable in terms of how good it is. Sometimes it's gonna do nothing. But giving what is it, range 2 or range 3?
It's range 2. It's super stealth.
It's the Criminal Syndicate card, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's the Criminal Syndicate
Shadow Work.
card.
Okay, yeah. So range 2 stealth is fucking bonkers. Like
Especially
you
on
basically
somebody
have
like
to be on top of them.
Well, especially on all like characters that have like decent range attacks where they can tap you and then you can't
I
tap
mean,
them
that's
without
like,
coming into them.
yeah, that's everybody except X-23, right? Everybody
Yeah,
who
pretty
you would
much.
take in this list. Like on B maps, it's really good, or like variations of B maps. The maps that don't have letters anymore, they just have rulers and dots on a map, like we're playing in 2021. But yeah, like it's pretty good in the right circumstances, but it's definitely not a card you can like plan on being a core card for you in one of your 5. So you're stuck with like, okay, I'm playing Cat and Mouse, and then my 2 restricted, and then try to fill in 2 more somewhere. And then what's the last one called?
It is
I can never remember the name of that one.
Preserve the Dream.
Preserve the Dream. So we got another Winter Rush type card for X-Force to diddle themselves with.
But it's like the X-Force card, but with even more extra steps.
Yeah. I don't know about these types of cards. Like they just maybe with like a lot of practice you could like really like make this card do a lot of work, but man, I don't know. I like cards that are easy to use and like easy to identify the windows for.
Well, don't
That's
forget
just me,
about like
though.
Dirty Work.
Uh,
Yeah,
I
that's
did
my
forget
point.
about.
Terrible.
I did forget. I don't even remember what that does.
An allied
Not
X-Force
great.
character may spend 3 power to play this card. Mark the enemy character with the highest threat value with a target token.
Oh,
If the marked
God.
character is dazed or KO'd this round
Yeah.
by an allied X-Force character,
Power.
all allied X-Force characters gain 2 power.
Yeah.
The
So
shitty
It's a bad
usurp.
usurp.
like, if it's not giving me VPs, I'm not interested.
Well, like the X-Force character that plays the card doesn't even get a full refund. They lose a power.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
cool
it's a tactics
concept.
card.
I like
It's a tactics
the
card, and at best, you're gonna get your best case scenario is you're gonna net what 5 power.
mm,
Nah,
let's
you won't
see.
net 5 power because
If you
you'll probably be
if you
going
have 5
5 wide,
characters
right?
gain 5 characters gain 2 each. That's 10 minus 3
I
is
guess it's
7.
if you have 5 X-Force characters.
I like the creative space that this card is exploring, but practically it's kind of dog shit. Like
Yeah, it's not great.
the cards that give power that actually are good in the game are able to give power when like you have the agency of when it happens.
Mhm.
And it's not based on a criteria that's randomly determined by like rolling dice or something. Plus the fact that it costs 3. Like the card probably should just be free or something.
Yeah,
Definitely
that
cheaper.
card might be okay if it was free. It might be playable, but I don't even.
That's what I'm saying. Like if it was free, would it be actually good? I don't know, but it would be better. Like then it would be like, okay, well, I didn't actually spend power on this, so I
You're still
whiffed it.
having
Like
to,
worst case scenario, you whiff it, but you're like only out a
yeah,
card.
you're still having to kind of gamble as to when you're gonna KO or daze the highest threat model in the game,
Yeah.
which is great for the benefit that you get for usurp. But I don't know about this.
Yeah, like I
Well,
said, if it's
usurp
not
gives
giving
you
me
extra
VPs, I'm not
dice,
interested.
right? Like,
Yeah. On
That's
Killmonger.
true.
yeah, usurp is just so much better than this. This is just not
Yeah.
good.
Alex, David, any additional thoughts on the tactics cards for X-Force before we move into tearing them up?
Side note with their stupid cat and mouse. You can use that to place. The place technically happens before the first power phase, so you can use it to place onto a like objective, like for instance Infinity Formula, and be able to get the benefit of the power generation from Infinity Formula onto somebody like Cable.
Cable, you're so
Is it
sneaky.
is it amazing? No, probably not. But is it good to get a character like Cable or Deadpool onto a hammer where they can pick it up and then like double tap somebody or walk to somewhere and tap them with a hammer? Yeah, it's good. You'll
Hey,
use it for that kind of stuff.
extra power is extra power.
Well, the ability to just place is quite powerful on a lot of their characters, especially like again like Cable, because Cable has so much range. Like it's just good for him.
I mean, the
Shout
fact that
out.
it's free, the fact that it's
Yeah, it's
free
free.
makes it so much better.
Mhm.
Yeah, the fact that it's free is really good. Shout out to the Warlock, or not Warlock, the what is his name? Shout out to Sunspot, because if you place him, he gains a flare token. So I don't know if that's amazing or even useful, but it does do something with his kit, which is fine.
You guys got 15 minutes? Let's Rube Goldberg this bitch with David.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not that invested in Sunspot. If he was an X-Men, then yeah, but he's not. So whatever.
All right. So, what tier list do we put X-Force on? Alex, what do you think?
I had to take a second to think, like really think about it before I gave them like a crappy bias score. I'm gonna give them a solid B. Don't think they're
Okay.
quite C tier because their roster's pretty good. Uh, yeah, I think B feels right.
Okay. David?
I'm gonna give these guys a B minus. I don't. The problem with these guys is I think the shooty kind of gunliney teams like this are kind of falling out of favor for like just other teams in the meta that are doing other interesting things. And I just don't think that like I think this team has a hard time like being able to rotate on certain crisis, and I just don't know. I don't know what else they're doing. So yeah, these guys are B minus.
Okay. JP.
I still feel like Cable kind of. I think he still feels like a boat anchor. He's your only leader. He costs 5, and he's still kind of fragile. Like you can't pump against terrain throws. Yeah, I
Very
don't.
physical on a 5 threat is also pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't know exactly like what they're outside of cat and mouse. Cat and mouse is a unique aspect of them. There's no other affiliation that has anything like that, but that's not like a good argument to say that they're good, even though it's a good card. Like I don't really see what they're doing that's better. That's one unique or two like better at the same thing than other affiliations. So I don't know. What's our B criteria again?
It is a
They're
character.
good.
It's good roster, but it's with a fatal flaw.
I mean, I feel like they're a little worse than that. I'm gonna give them a C plus.
Okay. Any last thoughts on X Force before we move on to our final affiliation? Okay. Webheads, take a minute, get a cup of coffee and some snacks, because I think we're going to be here a while, because we move on to Servants of the Apocalypse. So this affiliation is just different than every other affiliation. So, Alex, Apocalypse has always kind of been your pride and joy. So, for webheads who may not be terribly familiar with or haven't seen it yet, can you just sort of describe how Servants of the Apocalypse works?
So, Servants of the Apocalypse starts with Apocalypse. You need Apocalypse to play. And basically, it's got a chart in the affiliation list that 1 says who their affiliated models are, and 2 specifies which horsemen they can be. Every horseman or every model in the roster can be 2 horsemen, and there are 8 of each horseman. And then Apocalypse's leadership, you give him Master of the Horsemen card, and then you give each of your models a horseman card that is one of the horsemen that they can be, and they get the rules with that card.
Okay, so it's super unique, and unlike anything else. So I think it's probably helpful. Let's start with talking about Apocalypse as a character himself. JP, you want to talk about the kind of how Apocalypse, the character himself, what he's like, what he does?
He's a big 6 threat that can pick his damage type on his builder. And he's kind of a mid-range fighter, so he's got a range 3 builder. And then a range 2 spender. And he can give conditions. He can give shock and root on a wild on his builder. And he's got a unique ability where he can place people within range 5 of him, within range 1 of him, but they can't be holding an extract. Is it they can't be holding an extract, or they drop it, Alex? I can't remember. I haven't played them in a while.
They drop it.
I think they drop it.
Yeah, they
So they drop it. So it's not good for like ferrying extract holders out of harm's way. Sometimes it's kind of difficult to like pick a time when it's good, but man, it can that superpower used in the right circumstance can be really, really, really good.
yeah, I can completely change the board state.
Yeah. And you can do it up to 2 characters.
And it's in the power phase.
Yes. So like not only change positioning, but also you can like re-engage people with Colossus, or God forbid if you were still playing Honey Badger in your lists, you can set her up to taunt. And then he's got an ability that lets him flip condition type if they already have a condition. If they're gaining a condition they already have, he can give them a different one, which is kind
Yeah,
of cool.
he can give them, if I remember correctly, it's bleed, shock, incinerate, or root.
That sounds right. I don't think he gives bleed or hex, right? So I think you're right. I think it's like 4 of them. We
Bleed,
should probably
shock.
have his card pulled up. But we're just winging
It's-
this shit.
It's bleed, shock, slow, or incinerate.
Slow.
Oh, it is
not
bleed.
root.
Okay, it is bleed. All right, so yeah, that's a cool ability too. I didn't find myself using it as much as I thought I would when I was playing APOC. But like APOC has so many moving parts that like mastering all of the facets of that affiliation definitely takes a long time. I did really well with the affiliation, but I'm sure there were things I could still work on. But yeah, his big thing is being able to like mimic the apocalypse, the riders of the apocalypse superpowers himself. So it really opens up his kit playing him inside his own affiliation, because he can like power up his attacks. He can like port range 2, like basically have gamma leap on APOC, or I guess in some circumstances you might want to do the condition, the
Pestilence.
pestilence. Yeah, it's been a while since I played him. Yeah, do the pestilence on him. I didn't, like theory crafting about APOC before I played him. I was like, oh, I could like you could like double pestilence with pestilence and APOC and like really just load him up with conditions. But I didn't find myself doing that often. Most of the times when I was playing APOC, I was using his, because you can only use once or one of them per turn, so you have to pick. And usually I was porting just to for action compression, get it 2 attacks on a target, because obviously he's only range 3. And one of the superpowers you want to use is war, because death's good, but they need to have damage on them to actually get an offensive bonus. So if you're attacking somebody with like full health, or like maybe they have a damage on them, like it's not great. So you usually want to use war, but that's only range 2. So it gets weird with APOC, who has a range 3, a range band of 3 for his builder. So most of the time I'm porting, but being able to port APOC around and like double tap people for their weakest defense with 7 dice and then rerolls from his leadership is really, really good. And then he heals when he takes damage from an attack, or if he gains he can heal or gain power from gaining a condition that he's immune to. So yeah, I probably missed some things, but I'll just let it go. I'll let someone else talk about them.
Well, David, talk a little bit about how Apocalypse plays on the table, just the character himself. I mean, we'll get into the Horseman cards and kind of how that changes things, but just the character on his card. What is he like on the table?
I think that's a bit of a loaded question, because I don't think you play, like, nobody's playing Apocalypse
Okay.
outside of his leadership, right? Like,
Okay.
literally nobody's doing that.
Okay.
And I feel like without the Horseman cards, he kind of, like, he can definitely feel very subpar for a 6
Okay.
threat without the Horseman
Okay.
powers.
So maybe we just need to lead into the Horseman card. So, Alex, can you just tell us about the Horseman cards as kind of an overview and how they work? I know you kind of touched about it a little bit, but just in a little more detail, what are the Horseman cards and how do they interact with the Master of the Horseman card that Apocalypse gets?
Yep. So I'm going to start with the Master of the Horseman card.
Okay.
So the Master of the Horseman card, I'm not going to give the exact words here, but basically it allows them to collect and like generate what's called evolution tokens. These evolution tokens, you can have up to 6 of them. You gain 1 at the beginning of the power phase, and each horseman has a way of generating them based on certain triggers. The evolution tokens, once per turn, you can spend up to 3 to re-roll that many dice for an attack, defense, or dodge roll. And they can also be used to use horseman powers in place of power. And then it also allows Apocalypse to use one of the horseman superpowers once per turn. And then in order, you've got Pestilence once per turn for 2 power. Pestilence can give 1 of 3 conditions to each enemy model within 2. It can be slow, root, or poison. Or if they have one of those conditions, the model can take a damage. And then to get evolution tokens with Pestilence, for each model that gained a condition during that model's activation, you gain an evolution token. War, this is one of the only horseman powers that you can use more than once per turn. It's Fury, spend 2 power, and for each crit and wild in your attack pool, you can change a dice to a hit. And then to generate evolution tokens with War, the first time they take damage or the first time they do damage, you gain an evolution token. And then Famine, spend 2 power. You can place within range 2 of your current position. And if you are within range 2 of any model, they lose a power. And the way they generate an evolution token, if they are outside of range 3 of any enemy models, any non-dazed enemy models, they will gain an evolution token. And then Death, for 3 power, for their next attack, they will gain an additional attack dice up to 3 for each damage the target has suffered. And if they daze or KO a model, or if they themselves are dazed or KO'd, gain 3 evolution tokens.
Okay. So, and basically, you can place one of each of these cards on another character in your roster to give them that power, but there's a limitation on who can take each card.
Correct. Based on the affiliation matrix.
Yep.
I think is a good word. Yeah, affiliation matrix.
All right, so we'll run through this real quick. I think the best way to talk about it is we'll talk about the characters that are eligible to be each of the 4 horsemen and who's good and who's bad and why. And then we'll talk about how Apocalypse uses the horseman powers, and then we'll kind of do an overview of the affiliation as a whole. So, Death. Oh,
Can
yeah,
I interject something about the leadership?
please.
So one of the things about the leadership is that if one of your horsemen dies or KOs, if one of your horsemen KOs, Apocalypse can still use that horseman's superpower. So that's something to keep in mind. And the other thing is, if Apocalypse himself is KO'd, you lose your evolution tokens. So you have no mechanic to generate them and you can't spend them for anything.
Yep. And then I also do want to specify when it comes to War, if the first time War gets damaged on their injured side and they are KO'd, you do not get the evolution token.
Okay. So, real quickly running through the maybe I'll go each horseman, who the characters are, and then we'll talk about how they play. So, we'll start with Death. Death can be Archangel, Cassandra Nova, Gambit, Honey Badger, Iceman, Psylocke, Toad, and Wolverine. David, I'll start with you. How does that character roster work with Death? Who's most effective with Death? Who's least effective with Death? Or what do we usually see with that?
So I think the best deaths are probably Toad and Gambit. Like I guess Wolverine is fine with death, but like he gets a little weird.
Oh, He's so good with death. When JP was there for it, when my Death Wolverine one shot Abomination 2 turns in a row with death, oh, that felt so fucking good.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, I mean, he's totally a blender. Like, adding dice for him is really good. I still don't think that you kind of probably don't like having a 2-threat or a 3-threat death is a little bit, it feels a little bit better because you're adding dice onto lower pools, like with especially with Gambit, right? Because you're adding dice and then he has the whole double wild thing. Like he can just like explode on people when he's deaf. And the same with like Toad, right? Like all of a sudden Toad, his he is a gainer or a builder. He is a builder, doesn't he? It's like
He's a
4
builder.
dice. Yeah, so
4 dice
his
builder.
builder going to like 7 dice is like, holy shit, this 2-threat is throwing 7 dice at me. Like, that's really good. And the other thing with those 3 threats is you get evolution tokens when they get dazed. So like you're like kind of like it's like, oh, my Toad just got dazed. Well, cool. At least I get 3 evolution tokens out of that, right? It's a little bit not quite as effective with like Wolverine because like maybe he doesn't ever get dazed, or it's kind of one of those things with him. I think death is, I mean, of the horseman powers, it's probably the only one you could get away without taking. But like I still think you take it because the mechanic for generating evolution tokens is just so much more efficient when you have all the horsemen. But if you were to cut a horseman for some reason, you could cut death probably. Who else
I
is
do want
death?
to give Psylocke honorable mention. I think she's pretty good with it, especially on paper. But
Yeah, I
in
think she's
practice,
pretty
I've
good.
never been able to work.
Like she could go off on people, but like basically any of your deaths, like you're just adding dice, so like it's gonna be good. It's side note with Psylocke, can she reroll? How many dice can she reroll with her thing? Is it X? Is it totally X?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's 100% X. She can,
it's
if
once
she
per
has,
turn.
it's once per turn though.
Yeah, I mean, but still, so she could randomly throw a lot of dice at you with the like +2 from her short advance and then death, and then you're like, oh, well now she's throwing like 9 dice at me and I can re-roll as many as I want to. So like it could be pretty good. It's assuming that she has power. Um, who else is like the rest of the deaths are kind of like Cassandra Nova is like you're
Ah,
probably not playing her, and if you're playing her, I don't think you're playing her as death either though. So
Um,
who does that leave? Is that all of them?
I
no,
think
there's Iceman, Archangel, and Honey Badger.
yep.
Don't bother.
Yeah, I don't think you bother with. I don't think you bother with Iceman. I don't think you bother with Honey Badger. And yeah,
Okay.
like I
I
guess
will
if you were
say,
going to take Iceman, I don't think you take him as a death for sure.
yeah, 100%. I will say, honey, I did like Honey Badger when they were on the old map E.
Yeah,
She
with
was
E,
really,
she
she
was
was
fine.
super good on E, but I just don't see a use case for her now. I think she's pretty terrible.
She's
But
disappeared off of all Apocalypse rosters.
well, she wasn't even very popular before with the E's, but I championed
Mm-mm.
her, and I still stand by that. I thought she was super good on E's, but like even me being a Honey Badger stand in that situation, like it's not there anymore, and I can't like there's no use case for her.
Well, and the game has gotten so much faster that not having the ability to score means that you better be able to kill shit. And like I just don't I don't think Honey Badger is very effective at that. Like she kind of aids it, but her herself, she I mean she's a 2-threat. She can still punch above her weight, but it's punching above a 2-threat. Like it's not getting into the territory of any 3 threats, right?
Well, as death, she can hit pretty hard.
Yeah, I guess she can. She can definitely add dice, but still, it's just so hard with the the fact that the game has just gotten faster, and a lot of the top affiliations are really able to like rotate around on you, and like having a model that doesn't score can really be a detriment sometimes.
I mean, she's terrible on any map where you have to rotate. It's just dog shit. Like that means people are running away from her, so she has to like double move to get back into range, and then she's effectively an incinerate that doesn't contest a point. Like she's really bad. But on ease she was great. Like not only because she could just like move mid and like start debuffing people, but Apocalypse could hop range 2 and just like double tap whoever she was debuffing and just really apply a lot of pressure. But yeah, she's not good.
Okay. Any last thoughts on Death before we move on? So Famine can be Cassandra Nova, Deadpool, Gambit, Iceman, Magic, Mr. Sinister, Psylocke, and the Blob. JP, what are our thought processes on the Famine roster?
So when I first started playing APOC, I was standing really hard for Deadpool, because Deadpool is just awesome, and Famine plays into his kit because he doesn't like his stab is not really the de facto attack for him. It's Bang Bang, which is range 4, and Famine, if you're outside range 3 when you're in the axe, you get the token, so it just seemed kind of like a match made for Deadpool, and like Deadpool gives APOC some more punch. Like, but APOC's weird because APOC himself punches pretty hard, but depending on your team, like the team can kind of pillow fist. So sometimes you might want to have that extra punch. And Deadpool kind of brings that. Deadpool's weird though, because I've had Deadpool just fucking ruin people, and I've also had Deadpool just not exist. Either like his lack of participation in like doing any sort of meaningful damage, or just getting evaporated, having like 4 health on his front is kind of detrimental. Can set up some like awkward rounds for you where you're just like denied activations, and like the game can kind of get away a little bit. Then I started playing Blob, and like I was definitely on the Blob train, probably before a lot of other people were really trying him out too much. But I was Blob is kind of like my de facto Famine now. Blob is just so good. Like he does a ton of work, and he makes his presence known in any game. Like he just does stuff. He's got displacement in both of his attacks, and he's a tough dude, and he gives the affiliation like some midline presence where I would run into issues where I was running like Toad, Deadpool, Magic, APOC, and then whoever my Pestilence was. And I was like, I can't really put any of these people on midline because they're just going to get shredded. Like APOC's kind of weird because he's kind of tough in some ways, but he's fragile also. Like he can just get burst down. You don't really want to like overexpose him. You don't just want to offer him to the mid. And like Deadpool and Magic are just made out of paper. And same with Toad. Like Toad is like, that's the opposite of what you want to do with Toad. You want to be like maximizing that range 2 interact. You don't want to have him on the midline. So Blob is just kind of like, he just kind of like I don't want to say he's a jack of all trades for the affiliation, but he just does work. He's just a workhorse. That's the word I'll use. Like him, like I would say Blob is probably pound for pound, like probably one of the biggest workhorses in the affiliation. Or if you roll hot on like War Magic, that bitch gets shit done too. But like Blob just gets stuff done by existing. Love Blob.
Well, and the other
go ahead, David.
The other thing about Blob 2 is like if you put him like out on like a mid objective and your opponent starts attacking him, they're risking getting pushed back, which can like completely like ruin what they're doing.
Yeah, with the caveat that he hasn't picked up an extract.
Yeah, that's the problem.
kind of a lot of the reasons why you probably want to. Well, it depends on the map, right? But half the time you're probably pushing him mid to pick up some kind of center extract. But yeah, like he's just good. And then anybody else is just not good. Like everybody else you said on the list is just not good. I should say I guess people use Psylocke Famine, and that's fine. Like Psylocke Famine, she's hypermobile and she's a killie piece. Like if you need a hypermobile killie piece, like yeah, Psylocke's a good pick. She's
I hate
legit.
Gambit.
Yeah, you can make an argument for Gambit too. You're right. I haven't well, full disclosure, I haven't even played APOC in so long that like the last time I played APOC, Gambit hadn't gotten his buff yet, so yeah, I need to think of it in context of Gambit being good again. Or good, finally, I should say.
I will say that I think I like Iceman Famine on like a D, like somewhere where you can just like completely rotate on people.
That's fair. I do like that idea. I just don't know if it. One, I don't think it aligns with the way I want to play APOC necessarily. Like, yeah, I don't know if I want to play D's with APOC. Like, I don't know if I want to bring D's. Yeah, I don't know. You only have 10 slots in the roster, so it just gets to where you're like, it's like, can you justify it? Like, I could see people playing Iceman. I'm not gonna bat an eye at people playing Iceman. I think he's fine. And as Famine specifically, I don't think he's a good death at all. But for me personally, it's Blob or Deadpool, like all day.
Any last thoughts on Famine before we move on?
I will. I was gonna say something about the fact that Deadpool can use his stupid Merc with a mouth, and he can use the Famine Hop to like pull power from somebody, which can, I mean, that can be really good if you do it at the right time.
Yeah, making your opponent lose 3 power is real awesome.
Yeah, especially if it's a character like somebody like a Chi or somebody that wants to charge. Yeah, taking 3
Like-
power from them before they activate is really good.
Literally anybody other than War Machine. I did also want to mention Famine should almost always be your first activation in Apocalypse. The only other exception to that is Toad. Toad being your mid grab or your objective grabber. You know, if you need to, he should be first. If it's not Toad, then it's Famine. Because Apocalypse, this affiliation needs those evolution tokens, and you got to get that ball rolling as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's one thing we haven't really gotten to yet. But I like
For sure.
coming off of. Well, yeah, I'm cool talking about it. I like coming off of playing APOC. Like the more you play it, the more you realize how much engineering your round one has. It almost has to go in like a very well. It does have to go in a fairly specific order. Like Alex was saying, those two are interchangeable depending on what the need is. Like if there's an extract out there that you're gonna fall behind, like your opponent will break parity on you if you don't grab it. You have to get it with Toad. But if not, like an early Famine activation just ensures that you get that extra power because you can end it outside of range 3. Especially if it's on someone like Blob, where like your intention is probably to like occupy a more like neutral space or even like be aggressive and push toward them more. Like you don't want to end within range 3 of a character with Blob, so you're going to want to activate him early so that he can move out there before your opponent has a chance to move their characters out. And then like toward the end, you're trying to like stack power so that you can like have a pestilence bomb and get power for APOC to teleport. Or not power, but evolution tokens to use as power.
Evolution tokens, yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's like after you put in some reps with APOC, you realize like how scripted your round one is and how important it is to deploy correctly for the script.
Okay, anything else on Famine before we move on? All right, for Pestilence, we have Archangel, Beast, Cable, Colossus, Mr. Sinister, Sabretooth, the Blob, and Toad. Alex, what are your thoughts about the Pestilence roster?
So the Pestilence roster, I've played around with actually a lot more Pestilence models than I have the rest of the affiliations, just to kind of get a feel. No, I say affiliations. I meant Horsemen. Famine, I played around with a lot too, but Pestilence was a lot of testing. I felt. I played Mr. Sinister. I thought about doing Archangel. Sabretooth is an honorable mention, but frankly, all of them are bad except Beast and Colossus. Beast is your 3-threat Pestilence when you can't play Colossus. Uh, those medium bases are so important for Pestilence. And Beast is really good because he's very maneuverable, or can be very maneuverable. And then he can also play, like, with his throw, he can put people. I guess the throw doesn't matter because it's a range too. Anyway, Beast is really good at it with him being very maneuverable. And Colossus, I mean, that dude, not only with his glow up, with his big brother being able to move him to get him in position, if you're lucky enough to pull it off that way, but he's also just so hard to kill. And I mean, Pestilence is your number one Evo token generator. Like, I had a turn where Colossus gave me 5 evolution tokens in one turn because I was able to get conditions on 2 models with his spender and then Pestilence bomb 3 others. It's just he pulls it off so fucking well.
Okay.
I'm
Any?
gonna hop
Yeah.
back to Famine real quick. The other reason I like Blob for Famine is that the superpower lets him port
Mhm.
range 2, which for a short movie character is huge. Like Blob, I guess what made me think of it was how Alex was describing how he had tested a lot of Pestilence out, and there was a game where he and I played where he had taken Blob Pestilence, and I just kept throwing him medium,
Mhm.
and pretty
Dog
much took
shit.
him out of the game. But
Dog
like
shit. I hated it.
Famine Blob is a different animal. That guy,
Completely.
he just gets back in. He doesn't give a fuck. And then he can like do the thunderous splash at range 3 to like relocate himself even more. Like he could just like Blob as Famine is just pretty incredible. But as Pestilence, he's not great. And I will echo what Alex said about Pestilence. Like the only 2 good ones are Beast and Colossus. And I was championing Colossus even before his before his glow up, and I think a lot of people in the community disagreed indirectly. Like I didn't have a lot of conversations with people, but I didn't see him in a lot of lists. But I still thought he was really good back then. Obviously he's way better now, but like he's just so tanky, and he just gets in there, taunts, and does the Pestilence thing, and that's like what you want your Pestilence to do. Beast is not nearly as tanky, but he costs 1 less, and he's still pretty tanky. And I think he's. Are there any other Pestilence through? I guess Blob would be more tanky than Beast as a 3-threat Pestilence, but he sucks as Pestilence.
Yeah, I don't like Blob like in that situation as Pestilence because like
He's not
when you're
good.
thinking tanky,
Well,
because like Blob's
he's also short mover too, so Pestilence is all
that
about positioning.
and like Blob's energy and Mystic is dog shit. Beast's energy is dog shit. I will say that, but
Yeah. Well, he has a
At least he has rerolls though,
yep.
and Starling Garters is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
and size 2 throw.
Yeah,
So good.
it's really good.
Character throw. Very good. Like I don't know what percentage of the characters in the game are size 2, but it's the majority of characters. Like
That they
he
cost 2
gives you
power.
yeah, I mean he gives you a character throw in an affiliation that's pretty much devoid of character throws. So yeah, like Beast is solid.
Such a good
Solid.
utility piece. And
So
that's how I
good.
feel like you got to play Pestilence. Pestilence is 100% utility.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other thoughts on Pestilence before we move on to our final horseman?
I was gonna shout out that with the glow up with Colossus, having the ability to displace size 4s is something that Apocalypse just doesn't really have. And so Colossus being able to push and throw them with his builder spender is pretty good for Apocalypse.
Fucking bananas.
Thunderous Splash also displaces any size. And now that I'm thinking about it, we didn't talk about the second part of Pestilence, which is if you give them a condition that they already have, you can make them take a damage instead.
Which is
Which,
really good.
yes, it's very good, and I'm a smooth brain, and like didn't really incorporate that into my playstyle with APOC. But that kind of goes back to what I was saying. Like, there's so much nuance, so many facets to playing APOC. There's like so many idiosyncrasies and things. Like, there's a lot to look out for. It's super good though. So kind of going back to what we were talking about, Sovereign Strike. Like, you just have a guaranteed 2 damage somewhere. Like this, you could just like move up and like plink somebody. Like, there's no question. Like, nothing gets around it. Like, they have to have like inured to pain basically to avoid it. Like, DR doesn't work. Like, regular reduced to 1 doesn't work. Like, it's just a guaranteed plink, and it doesn't take an action. Definitely a hole in my playstyle. I don't think I ever used that. Because it's like a whole nother thing you have to look out for. Obviously, like, giving people conditions is just really good too, but and
Well,
obviously, like, they still need the condition. They need one of the 3 conditions on them already to do the damage. So there's conditions that need to be met to even do the damage. But there's nuance and levels to playing APOC and all the moving parts.
I want to also add with the Pestilence thing, the ability to poison something and not damage it is really powerful, especially early game, right? Like,
Yeah,
if you're playing against webs, the ability to like go, okay, I'm gonna poison like 3 of you guys, and now you guys have no power at the
brutal.
start of the next activation. It's so brutal for them.
I mean, when you think about poison as like an early game investment, without like dazing those characters or doing damage to them, poison just ends up being, it translates to a lot of power that's lost. If you consider it might go like 4 rounds, like 1 round of poison could be 12 power lost or something, depending on, I guess it'd be like 9 if you hit 3 people on round 1. That's still a lot of power though, like 9 power.
Yeah, it's very good. Just having the ability to just auto poison somebody without having to attack or
Yeah,
risk doing damage to give power to them.
yeah,
It,
yeah.
it's a good thing. It can definitely neuter some characters, and the ability to give out root. Root is such a powerful condition in the certain characters,
Root's so
especially like,
good.
yeah, especially in the characters who like have like inert to pain. Like, root sucks really bad if you're having to spend 2 power to reduce 1 damage.
Yeah, just any kind of like spammable cheap superpowers. It sucks. Or someone who's like, their kit is kind of built around certain breakpoints for power, like throwing in like extra power requirements kind of like breaks their optimal play pattern.
Yeah, like especially like Supreme Strange. Like, if you root Supreme Strange, like it
He's fucking doomed.
really it really hurts his ability to scalpel people.
Yeah. And slow is good too. Like, all those conditions are just really good in different scenarios. It's just a really cool rider superpower. I like it a lot. Unfortunately, famine is the most important and the most boring, but you can make an argument for pestilence after.
All right. Well, to finish out our horsemen, we have war. War can be Beast, Cable, Colossus, Deadpool, Honey Badger, Magic, Sabretooth, and Wolverine. David, what do we think about War's roster of characters?
I mean, Cable's someone you probably don't want as a war because like you don't want him in range 3 or like range 2 of people to use war, and like it just gets weird with him. I don't really like him as a war. Wolverine's a good war. Magic is a fantastic war. Like that bitch can just beat you up. Like she can get fucking crazy. The fact
She's a
that she can
bully.
use it multiple times in an activation where she's just like, I'm just gonna hit you with 2 attacks with Pierce and I got war, so you might just die. Um, who else is Deadpool? Again, Deadpool has the same issue as Cable. Like, you don't really want to be putting him into of people to use war, so it just gets weird with him too. Um, Wolverine is, I mean, he's a good war. Like, he's fine. Sabretooth is probably fine, but Sabretooth has, same issues that he has in X-Force, right? Like, he has durability issues. He has action compression issues. He's not an amazing war. I mean, you could probably take him as a war, but I don't know if you're doing it. Who else we got?
Colossus. I don't hate Colossus's
Uh,
war.
I don't hate Colossus's war either, but like 9 times out of 10, you're probably running him as Pestilence, right? Like if you're
Yeah.
bringing him, he's probably going to Pestilence. So it becomes like, well, and with war, right? You usually your war character is going to be your main source of damage output besides Apocalypse, and so like those are going to be your like characters that you want to be able to like hit people with. And that's one of the reasons why Magic is really strong at it, because she has decent action compression, so she can like get in and just like hit you, or she can hit you twice and get away, right? Like she has the ability to, she can maximize her attacks, right? Which is kind of what you want out of a war.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Um,
I haven't actually done this, but you can make an argument for Colossus War on an F as a back F diver.
so you can get
Get
Evo
an
tokens
evolution
early.
token.
Yeah, I mean, you force them to interact with Colossus because he picked up their back F. They're going to attack him. You're going to get Evo tokens. He's probably the best back diver in the roster, and
Yeah,
it's considering there's 5 points of extract, and then like however many secure points you brought, probably 4. There's 9 points every round. Like it's going to score pretty fast. You might not be necessarily all that concerned about damage with Magic or like another like Killy War. You might just be trying to like break parity somehow, and like just you take Beast as your Pestilence there, and you take him as your War, and then just try to score. And like like he doesn't have Pierce or Mystic attacks, but like he's basically Valkyrie. Like she's got 5 dice physical with Warrior of Legend. Like he can still punch, especially with rerolls. Like he could still get some work done as an attacker. He's
he
just not
definitely
like
can.
he's
Like,
just not optimal at a 4 threat with 5 dice physical.
I mean, like if he can get enough power to throw like 2 spenders and a terrain piece at something, that's pretty good output.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty much all in on Magic War. I don't think like personally I can't justify taking anyone else's war. Except maybe in that scenario. I've never actually done that with Colossus, but I could see myself doing that. Depending on how fast I think the game's gonna go. But Magic War is just so freaking good. And like to upgrade her, yeah, you could upgrade her to Wolverine, and like he's like definitely tankier than her. He's arguably like slightly less offensive, interestingly enough, because like I'd probably trade a physical attack for a mystic attack, in most cases. So they both have Pierce. Obviously he counts double wilds with his thing, best at what I do, but I don't know. I feel like
I
I'm
assume we're
spending.
talking his healthy side too, right?
Yeah,
Because
Well,
once he gets flipped, he's a
sure,
fucking monster.
sure.
well, the other thing too with her being war, right, is her fucking spender is pretty ridiculous when you're war because she counts her skulls and your opponent's skulls, right? So like the skulls are going to be the only thing that you can't modify. So now it's like, you know, you could get into a situation where it's like, I basically have all successes here.
Yeah, and you get a larger dice pool too, which helps for those kind of superpowers where you get to modify dice, non-successful dice or unsuccessful dice. Um, so my argument for taking magic as war is sure you could upgrade her with certain threat values, but why not upgrade somebody else? Because the improvement you're getting on your war character is very marginal. Where you could just get like a straight up way better character in a different slot. So I'm pretty much all on the magic train. I don't think anyone else is very good.
I agree. In like a competitive situation, magic all the way.
I do like the idea of Colossus backstealing though. I might try that sometime if I ever pick up Colossus and find myself on an F map. Or pick up Servants of Apocalypse.
Okay. So, have any other thoughts on any of the horsemen themselves before we move over to how Apocalypse uses their powers? All right, so David, you had mentioned it. You can't really talk about Apocalypse without talking about using their superpowers. So, you want to just kind of describe briefly how the horseman powers interact with Apocalypse and how he interacts with them.
So, I mean, the fact that he can only use one of them once per turn, oftentimes it means he's like if your opponent is like if your opponent kind of like knows what they're doing or is good at the game, they're gonna know like, hey, I don't want to leave this activated character within 2 of Apocalypse, right? Because I don't want to take a spender or a builder that has war on it, right? So I'm gonna try to get out of his war range and try to get out of his attack ranges in general, but like so most of the time he's probably gonna be famine hopping. Like that's usually what he does, which is really good. Like having a gamma leap that he doesn't even have to actually spend power on is pretty good, especially on a large base. Like in range
I
3, right?
I-
Anybody who's
I'll
played
I'll
Hulk,
I'll argue with that a little bit. I would try to spend power on him because I don't think he's got good. Um, I don't think he necessarily spends power very well, and like conserving 2 tokens is always better than 2 power on
yeah. I
APOC
mean,
in most cases.
if you don't have the power, like my situation is if he doesn't have any power, right? Like
Sure, sure,
or enough
sure.
power to do it. Like having the ability to do it is good. And especially like early rounds, like on round 1, because
Yeah,
having
round
the
one
ability
for
to
sure.
place is just really good. Um,
Especially if he needs to pick up a hammer or something
yeah.
with his single power. You want double Evo tokens for the port.
Well, and like him porting and grabbing a hammer and then like either potentially double tapping something or walking and just single tapping something is still very good. Um, Pestilence is fine on him. Like if you're trying to stack conditions on something, he does kind of lose the benefit of what Pestilence gets because he doesn't gain Evo tokens when he adds conditions. But you
He
can
doesn't gain
also,
Evo tokens period for any of
yes,
the riders
yeah, he doesn't get any.
superpowers.
So basically, he gets less value out of Pestilence. But I could see a situation where maybe you're trying to Pestilence to, um, like put a condition that you are trying to get on a specific character, or you get a situation where you are like trying to do the 1 damage thing, right? Like, because you could have a situation where like Pestilence Like your pestilence goes and gives everybody these conditions, and then APOC goes around and just makes them all take 1 damage, right? Like that can be pretty good in the right circumstance, but most of the time you're going to be famine hopping with him. So the pestilence it is what it is.
Something I never considered when I played, but there is some nuance for using it to just add a condition to someone you're intending to spender.
Yeah, that's also good. Well, and you can add the conditions for his ability to throw, right? So like, because you need shock and root.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That was another thing. Go ahead, X.
I've used like a pestilence bomb to reapply root and use his superpower to apply shock instead, or if I'm going for the kill on somebody, I've done it where I've reapplied a condition and gave incinerate.
Yeah, like when APOC was first spoiled, I looked at his spender and I'm like, oh man, he's gonna be throwing people all day. Like, how hard is it to get conditions on a 7 dice builder? But the thing is like with APOC's builder, you kind of just want to be killing people. If you're not killing people with 7 dice builders, like the game's not going well for you. And then like a lot of times, man, you just don't roll the wild. At least I don't. Like I don't know if I've ever actually thrown anybody with that. Maybe one time. That's a maybe. I don't even remember.
I could probably count on one hand how many times I've done it.
Yeah, it's very rare.
I haven't seen it myself either. So like it doesn't come up that often. That's definitely for sure. So like there are times where I think you could use pestilence, but you probably aren't using it. Death, maybe if they got damage on him, but like in a lot of circumstances, you're probably just better off using war if you're in range, right? Like I'm not sure. Like
I
it's
believe
not
just
really.
the way the math works, you're gonna get more crits and wilds than the 3 additional dice are gonna add, like as damage to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that, especially with the rerolls.
Yep.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It's just not as effective unless you're like, I am outside of range 3 and I really want to kill this character and I can't use war, and maybe that's when you death. But he probably isn't using it very often.
So I need to caveat. I need to add a caveat to what I said earlier about adding conditions to pestilence in preparation for spender. This would be in a situation where like you have other people around you, other enemy models that you would want to give conditions to as well. So like you might be in a situation where you're like surrounded by like three enemy models, and you're like, okay, well I can give these 2 guys conditions and add a condition to the guy I want to attack, and get the 2 extra dice for my spender. I don't know if that scenario would come up for me, but it's definitely something to maybe consider, depending on the circumstances. Like landing slow on people and like dazing somebody, like that kind of neuters like a big turn for them if they're trying to be mobile or something.
Yeah, especially if they're trying to like run away from you.
Yeah,
I could definitely see that being useful. What's we got? Death, war. I mean, obviously, again, the famine hop is probably what he's doing. A huge chunk of his activations are he's probably just famine hopping. Just
I would say
because
it's probably like 80 to 85%.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time you're not going to be you're not going to be in position to like war somebody that you would want to, and like you're just probably just trying to be maneuverable, which is good on these large base. So I mean, that's probably what you're doing.
So I just did the math for shits and giggles. War compared to death, a 10 dice death builder gets you 5.63 hits, but a Fury 7 dice attack gets you 5.66 hits. So it's slightly better.
Throw in 3 rerolls and it changes the math dramatically.
Oh, yeah, dramatically changed it, but I'm just talking straight up dice rolls.
Which that makes sense. And it's also like the other problem with death, right, is you're adding dice on a character that already has damage on him. So you're like if it's somebody like, say it's Shang-Chi, if Shang-Chi has 3 damage on him, he's only got, say, 2 health left. Like, is adding this much extra dice going to be better than the war? Probably not. And it costs more power too, right? Death costs 3.
That's correct. There is a little bit of nuance there if you're going into one of those 4 characters that you mentioned earlier on our X-Force discussion.
Yeah.
Like if you're attacking a black cat or something.
Yeah, that's
Or-
definitely fair. Somebody you can't modify, or
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably better into characters who have like either like decent defensive tech or something, where you're wanting to try to spike a little harder. But I don't know. Or somebody that has a ton of health, I guess. Like a Hulk. But like I if you're I don't even know if you're wasting time with a death into a Hulk.
Just did the
I
math
mean,
again. 10 dice with 3 rerolls is 7.04. 7 dice with change faces, 7.51.
Oh, that's closer than I thought it would be.
I mean, it's still good. Is that all of the horsemen?
The big problem is death costs. Well, the biggest problem is that death requires them to have 3 damage on them, which is just it
Right.
doesn't happen that much in the game. Usually, you're looking to target like a fresh. Well, you're not even looking, like everybody starts fresh, so like everybody's a target for war. Nobody's a target for death.
Right.
And then death costs 50% more than war, which is, I mean, that's not nothing.
Mm-mm.
Well,
and then kind of going
with
back.
APOC,
Go ahead, David.
with APOC, you might end up in a situation where he doesn't even have the 3 power to spend for a death, right? Like, so then you're spending Evo tokens to do it, which is like even worse.
Yeah, and kind of going back to, you were saying something about it, but like for you to get the maximum death bonus, like they have to have 3 damage on them. Like typically, most characters in the game only have 5 or 6 health. So like, okay, now you're spending 3 power to add a bunch of dice against someone who's already half dead. Like, it's just weird.
Yeah,
It can get
it's not
weird.
very efficient. Definitely not very efficient. It's much better on the models that have a higher health pool, something like, like a Sentinel or a Hulk
For sure.
or whatever.
And that's
But
and like it's still better just to war them. The only
yeah,
advantage
probably.
the only advantage to death is it doesn't have the range 2 restriction. Because that's kind of a big deal. Like
Yeah, it can be.
people who get used to, kind of going back to what you were saying, people who get used to playing Apocalypse against Apocalypse, they learn to like not leave people within range 2.
Okay. So obviously there's a lot with Servants of Apocalypse. So we've covered the Apocalypse character himself, covered the Horseman, we've covered Apocalypse using the Horseman. Is there anything else about the servants that we need to go over?
Tactics cards.
Tactics cards. Which
You mean tactic card?
yeah, it really is just the one.
Yeah, it's just the one.
So it's Immortal Servants. So tell us about that card.
Immortal Servants has an active, reactive, and active option. First active option, Apocalypse can spend 2 power, and him and all friendly models within 2. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember if they have to be servants, but all friendly models within 2 have gain 2 health, regain 2 health.
It's each other allied character, but it costs 3.
Oh, it's 3. I thought it was 2 for that one. Okay.
It is 3.
Then it's 2 for his other active, which
Correct.
is also a reactive. It's recal.
Yep.
It's good.
So
it's a solid card.
So is this so if you're playing a servants, are you bringing this card?
Every game.
It's staple
Yeah,
to
it's an every.
Apocalypse.
It's
Okay.
definitely an every game card.
It's not like a busted card, but it's just a solid good card.
Well,
You
and
can
when they
either
only have
sell-
one affiliation card.
Well, I mean,
Well-
technically, but what is it? First one?
the Apocalypse card.
Yeah. Like you're not playing APOC out of affiliation, so like it's
The
pretty much
first-
an affiliated card.
So the first one is Apocalypse can spend 4, choose an allied character. The allied character is KO'd. Remove 1 activated token from Apocalypse. If the chosen character was injured, Apocalypse gains the stagger special condition. So it's
Yeah, it's on paper I like it, but in the games I've taken it, I haven't found a good window to use it. I do see people run it in their list though.
Yeah,
I'm
I,
sure
I think it has a place for the 10, but I don't know if it quite makes the 5 every time.
I'm sure with enough practice you could really nail down some good timings for it. It just seems, I don't know, it just seems so risky to like just take a model off the board and throw dice. I don't know. There's just something inherently YOLO about that card that scares me. Maybe I have a small peepee.
Well, so at squad goals, the Apocalypse player that I played against, he took that card, and it almost worked out in his favor, except that he didn't do enough damage to Zemo to gain enough power to kill one of his characters to activate Apocalypse again. So it ended up costing him the game because he couldn't like flip the point, and he wasn't close enough to like do anything to Zemo. So like he needed that extra activation to be able to like kill Zemo and take his point. But he didn't do
Yeah.
enough damage to get the power, so it ended up not mattering.
I mean, I could definitely see it being super powerful in one of those like last round scenarios, you know, where it's like, okay, this game is ending this round. Like now you have to kill Daze or KO APOC, or he's gonna go again at the very end. I guess he can't go at the very end if you
Yeah, you have to.
you would still have to have one unactivated
Yeah, you'd have to have one
for you
unactivated
to use
model.
that card. But near the very end, like getting another activation out of APOC by sacking a guy who's already activated that turn and it's that round, and it's the last round you're playing, like, and you don't care about prio because it's not going to another round, like that's perfect. That's like a perfect storm for that card. It's just like that's a super powerful card in that situation. But not every game has that situation. So it's like that's kind of my issue with that card. Is like it's
Well, that
highly
and
variable.
it also feels kind of bad to use it when he is not immune to stagger, because
Yeah,
like
I mean, ideally in that situation, you'd have an injured character and you just kill him, whoever it is.
no, I thought
But
if you killed an injured character, you get stagger. It's if you kill
Yes.
an uninjured character, you don't get stagger.
oh, sorry.
yes, that's right.
Yeah. I had it mixed up. Ideally, you're killing a healthy character there, so that you don't
Yeah.
get staggered, right? But it's like it's probably deeper into the game because it's the last round. You might not have a healthy character, or your healthy character a character that started that round that was healthy got dazed and you can't target him.
Yeah, or
Oh.
if you kill that model, you lose your scoring opportunity.
Yeah, that's another thing, right?
Mhm.
Like they're holding your extract and they're on a point. Like now you just lost 2 to 3 points.
Yeah, it's definitely a very tough card too.
It has a lot of potential for sure. But like I said earlier, I'm a little smooth brain and I like the cards that are just easy to play and like the windows are very easy to identify. I like to be able to like maximize my use of tactics cards in the game. I feel like if I have tactics cards that are like still available to me at the end of the game, I either just blew my opponent out or I played incorrectly. Like sometimes when you blow your opponent out, you like don't have to use all your cards because it's just such a like the dice just blow them out. Like the cards never have any kind of significance. We've all had games like that. It's just like,
Yeah.
wow, that was just like a terrible dicing. But like if you lose and you still have tactics cards, it feels pretty bad.
It definitely does.
I like to try to use all my cards in a game. Like I like to have windows for my cards. And some cards just, I don't know. Every time I took that card, it didn't manifest itself. Or I couldn't identify it. It could be a me problem too. But the one thing is for sure, objectively, the windows for that card are way harder to identify.
Well, and the other thing too with it is like you can play it at any time, right? Like you can interject your activation at any point in the round, right?
I'm
As
not sure
long
what
as
you're saying.
as long as APOC is activated, you can remove the activated token from him. So like you
Correct.
can go with APOC, and then like the next turn you could theoretically remove his token and go again if you
Correct.
wanted to.
Yes. Yep.
So you could find yourself in a situation where you activate Apocalypse, and then your opponent goes, "Well, okay, I'm just going to daze him." So now he doesn't even get to play that card.
Yeah, that could happen. Or they remove your model that you want, like the model that you want to sacrifice to it, or force you to make force you to kill your unactivated model, or like force you to kill a model that's holding an extract that's on a point by killing the model that you want to actually sacrifice. Like there's counterplay to it too.
Yeah, it definitely has weird windows.
Typically, I'm taking recal, the servant's recal, my 2 restricted, and then just like a 5th flex card, and usually not chosen. I'm just could never get it to work. I probably didn't put enough reps in with it, but I just feel like there were more reliable cards.
Okay, so is there anything else about servants that we need to cover before we talk about how to tier them?
Probably, but we've talked a long time and it's late.
We have talked
Yeah,
a
it
long
is.
time. That can confirm that. All right, so let's get our pencils out. And where do we put Servants of the Apocalypse on the tier list? Alex, what do you think?
Oh, this dude's an S plus, S plus plus, S plus. Like people bitch about him nonstop. People consistently ask how you beat him nonstop. This dude is a fucking monster. With
All
that
right,
being
so
said, like Apocalypse is not new player friendly though.
either to play or to play against.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's the S of the S. David, what do you think?
You would say he is the first one.
Oh, you waited
I-
3 hours for that, didn't you?
I waited the entire fucking string of episodes for that.
6 episodes of tier ranking, a marathon tier ranking to finish it up, and right at the end, bam, comes in with the.
I pulled off the first one and an Age of Apocalypse joke in the same episode.
Well, he Apocalypse is your guy. I mean, there's no question about that. David, where are
So
we at? Where's APOC fitting on a tier list?
I mean, it's pretty obvious this dude's S tier. Like he's probably the best. Like it's probably the best thing you could be playing in the game. He like Apocalypse wins a lot of things. Apocalypse won Second Wind. Apocalypse won LVO too, right? With that was DeLuca, right? He won with Apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
He had Apocalypse with Red Skull 2. So I think the idea was to kick out death in high threat matches for Red Skull.
Yeah.
Or so, I guess he had Dormammu too, right? So he had some. I don't know what all he was cooking with there. It's DeLuca. He always puts a Dormammu curveball in there.
Or just something. I mean, he was always thinking of something. But yeah, I mean, it's S tier. Like he's been winning tournaments, like just good. Probably best thing you could be playing.
KP?
Yeah, I mean, how the turntables turn. It wasn't that long ago where APOC was. I mean, he wasn't bad, but he definitely wasn't meta. There's just so many kaiju lists that were taller that could just like smash his ass, throw him into his own team, always have prio against him, just fuck him up. But now, It is the age of apocalypse.
It
We're in the
is.
S tier, boys.
All right. Any final thoughts on Apocalypse, or since we're wrapping up our affiliation conversation, any thoughts about sort of the affiliations as a whole that you guys want to share before we close up shop?
So I think that majority of the affiliations in the game are playable. So I think that speaks to like it being a lot more healthy than it appears. Just because people are always going to complain about whatever affiliations are like, you know, have an overly high winning percentage. But there's just not that many affiliations out there that are just completely terrible, which is good. So, hopefully this whole thing might, get people thinking about playing something random or some affiliation that they've been wanting to try to play but just haven't figured out, what to do with them.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, I think anything we rated like probably a B or above. Like, I wouldn't be like completely. I wouldn't be completely surprised if like a B tier, something we rated B tier won a tournament. Like, it's completely plausible. C tier is a little bit more of a stretch, but it could still happen, I guess. Like, the odds are pretty low, but maybe, probably not. D tier though, I mean, oof. Like, nobody's winning shit with Black Order or Sentinels. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Not right now.
Alex?
But yeah, I mean,
Any-
the majority of stuff, like what 90? What is that? 90%? 90% of affiliations
I
or
think
more.
we only.
What do we
I
have in
think
D?
we had our D tiers were Black Order.
Sentinels.
Did we put Hellfire at D, or did we leave him at C?
Oh, we might have put him in D.
I think
I'm
we
pretty
put
sure we
Hellfire
put
at.
him in D.
I think we put
D,
Hellfire
yeah.
at D. I think
Why
we
wouldn't
put.
we put him in D?
Yeah.
They're pretty D.
I don't think we put Legion of the Lost. I think we put Legion of the Lost in C.
No, they were C
So
because
I
they
think
can still pick
D.
their characters.
Yep.
And same with
So I think.
Thralls, right? Thralls
Yep.
is a C.
So I think the only Ds that we had: Black Order, Hellfire, and Sentinels. Oh no, I think we did. No, I think even though I pushed for an incomplete, I think we did D tier New Mutants.
Oh, no, I think you're right.
I think that's it.
Yeah,
Though.
they're not in a good place.
I think that's it though. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
really. So, and that's 4 out of 29. So that means that 25 of the 29 affiliations, you could bring him to the table at a competitive event and at least have a fighting chance.
I would
Pretty healthy
probably
game.
exclude. I'd probably exclude C's if I'm being honest from that too. Like, the C's aren't good either.
That
So like
might
B or higher. Like, they're good. It's pretty healthy, except when you
I
get
think
the
I'll-
tippy top. Maybe I think people
Yeah.
might say some of the stuff is a little repressive, but
Alex, any final thoughts about affiliations as a whole before we call it an episode?
Nope, those guys said exactly what I was going to say.
All right. Well, Webheads, if you've made it this far, you get a special gold star. I'm impressed. But we hope you've enjoyed this. We hope you've enjoyed our run through the affiliations. We've got mini extravaganza that's coming up in a couple of weeks, so all this might change. We might need to do a whole new series. So until then, though, follow us on the social. Let us know what you think. You can follow us on all the socials at Witty Bantercast. You can email us at wittybantercast@gmail.com. And you can support us on patreon.com/wittybantercast for as little as $1 a month. You can help support us, get some cool benefits, including but not limited to being entered into giveaways and have access to our Discord. Thanks for joining us, Webheads, and until next time, be